Late Night Grin. Also, what does that name mean?
My goodness, we're here. It's a major occasion. Novi is on his way. LeBron James is a sixer. I am still blind. Redemption is hours away. SummerSlam a week away. And we're here for more pro wrestling talk. Donny, how are you, mate?
I'm good. In the list of things that you mentioned, Donnie is still addicted to cookies. Have not had one today, but still addicted. Just felt important to note. Joe, congratulations on the process, being trusted. Yeah. 10 years later.
Not the blind part, though, right?
No. Definitely not the blind part. I'm doing well. Yesterday, I became a dropkick guy after months of saying I wouldn't do it, even though I basically have been a dropkick guy. I just did it, man.
I was going to say, okay, I was thinking about this. You've had one before, no?
I did, but I did it when it first came out and everyone was sharing. And then I had left it alone for so long that I just decided to purge that account and start all over again. And so now I'm here. I've joined you all. And I'm excited to be here. This has now become my favorite show to do on the Grin. It's just fun to get to talk about wrestling. And boy, it always feels like there's a new sector of wrestling on fire. And I think this week shows that Japanese wrestling has been hot, especially in the last week. And I'm excited to talk about it.
Yeah, there's a lot in terms of the G1. And we'll talk about this more later. And I know you have a plan to do a full recap with Khalid once things done. But is it fair to say that vibe-wise, this is the most positive reception to the start of the G1 in a long time? I mean, I'm sure they'll mess it up soon, but so far, right?
Yeah, I think the only negatives I've seen, and this I think has more to do with the unfortunate Shota Umino injuries, that the B block cards are unfortunately not as
They look
strong.
thin.
Yeah, because you're missing a heavy hitter. But dude, tomorrow night, or I guess this morning, I think at 5, the big 3 matches for tomorrow are as follows. It's Yota Tsuji and Shingo Takagi. Takagi, who, again, your mileage may vary. He's had a good G1 to start. Yudo Ice and Oiwe, that's fucking awesome. And Takeshita and Bolton Oleg as your big 3 matches this morning. That's a fucking insane, heavy-hitting lineup. And then you have Jake Lee there sometimes, which, I mean, it's just, what can you do in this life? But, yeah. Otherwise, it's been awesome.
Do we expect a, miracle Jake Lee match like this Sonata one? Or is
no,
it,
because Sonata, the thing is Sonata was good at one point. He just had the unfortunate injury. And I'm of the belief that every good wrestler can have at least one more.
Yeah. By
sheer will, they can have one more.
I didn't see that match, but the way it was described, it did sound to be a pretty powerful affair, to be honest.
Yes.
We have a lot to discuss tonight. We're going to lead, this is kind of a new informal thing when I catch it, is we're going to lead with just a brief SmackDown conversation. But before we do that, we have some super chats. And I know Big Fat Orange Cat sent one earlier that has been lost by YouTube, but I've got it and we will close the program with it.
Let's go.
Don't have an app. A close friend of the program who single-handedly derailed an entire house show on
impressive
on Monday, which feels like a piece of history, LNG history, right?
It has to be now, yeah. There's going to be multiple clips of that on your fucking documentary in 10 years.
When it all started going wrong. He says, fuck modern wrestling. Holbert, Dogs of the Ring review, please. I liked it. I thought the main thing for me was I was happy for Rob because I can't even imagine, and I got a little bit of insight, but the process of recording a lot and being like, oh my God, what are they going to put in and leave it out is pretty scary, to be honest. So for him, I was happy because I thought he did a really good job, and I thought he was
awesome. Yeah,
I thought the edit was pretty I think it featured him just the right amount, which is always a little bit scary, right? You don't want to be the guy who's hardly in it. You don't want to be the guy who's in it too much. You
want to be in the middle somewhere.
Yeah, that was my priority because that was what was most important to me. I liked it. I think it was pretty romantic in a strange roundabout way that they like passive aggressively continued the beef that apparently isn't real beef, because it sure felt like Joe was pretty happy to downplay the whole thing, and it sure felt like Necro was not thrilled about that. And so, as a result of that, in a strange roundabout way, they actually added more lore to the match.
They made it even better.
I think Joe was working a little bit with some of his
he had to have been
lackadaisical nature, which is fine. I saw Holland just say the same thing on social. I had the exact same thought he did. I got the sense that Joe was not certain of how they were going to present Necro.
Yeah.
And
boy, did they go heavy on that.
I think he made the right decision, because I must admit, Donny, I was stunned how willing they were to not just babyface him, but without any pushback. It was surprising, I have to admit.
Especially the opening, like 10-15, where you learn his story, which
and the end, right? The end, he gets like a big
with him and Madman Pondo,
yeah. And look, I think for the narrative that they were trying to capture, it worked. However, I do think there's something to be said for just having even a single voice go.
Yeah, like let's police the thing, like we don't have to. Shout out Eddie Kingston too, who was awesome on it, as he was on commentary for that.
Talking about having a hot dog and all that was good. My feeling was, I think there was a way to tell the same story of this match meant a lot to one person and less to the other, through the lens of like 20 years later, look at where they're at. Mm-hmm. And it felt like they went the other way with it and was like, kind of, but also Necro had his day in the sun, which is a good story to tell, but I don't know if he's the subject to tell that story with. Am I making sense here, Donny?
Yes, I think there's a line to toe, and I think there's a way to sort of mystify Necro Butcher as the guy that was in that match, as opposed to like baby facing him and kind of humanizing him in the way that they did, where it's like they almost want you to like sympathize with him, and like this match meant the world to him. It was his WrestleMania. It was everything he had worked for, and it's like, in a wrestling sense, that makes sense, because that is actually what happened. Like they presented that well in the doc, that like for Joe, it was just another booking. He was already on top of the world, and for Necro, this was like the big shot for him. But I just don't know if 21 years removed from that match, and knowing everything we know now about Necro Butcher, that was exactly the right call. But
I'm not sure either. Speaking of the Necro Butcher, the chat has been very disappointed with this man's absence thus far. What time do you call this?
Got my name wrong. It's actually the MAGA Butcher. So let's go ahead and get that right next time.
He's already begun.
Can I just say, folks, for the last 6 months, I've been bullied by this young man for being late to the StreamYard, but I always made call time. I mean, this is. What do you call? You're late
one time in the history of this fucking platform. I'm late, and we have to start some nonsense. Whatever.
It's a big time, bro.
I was having one of the greatest theatrical experiences of my life. Okay. You have to let me live.
What about the late night Grin? It's a great theatrical experience.
There's cinema after the cinema, bro. It's all good.
Nonetheless, to just put a bow on that, and I'll go back to our friend Novi in a moment. It was very good. I think they made some choices I wasn't keen on, but I was happy for our friend Rob Naylor, who I thought did a hell of a job. Novi, how are you? Thank you, Dan, for that.
Joe.
Yes?
I've previously mentioned on this show that I've just been a part of one of the greatest theatrical experiences of my life. This has actually been referenced before, in case you were listening. There it is.
That doesn't mean you're good, though.
That means I'm great, actually.
Like, LeBron signed with the Sixers doesn't mean that I'm good. I'm happy about that, you know?
Yeah, I guess that's true. Well, it made me happy, so I'm good.
Yes, all right. Good.
Yeah. Let's fucking do it, bro.
Let's do it. Chris sent 440 jewels and said, Uncle I still don't. I'm told they flash on the screen, the jewels.
Yeah, but they don't flash on our end because we can't see the YouTube. It's.
No. Have you seen the jewels, Nobi?
I haven't seen shit about the jewels.
Wow. There you go. The House has spoken, member for 21 months. My parking lot show, Big Brother, went up in flames today. I'm here to dive into wrestling with Redemption Preview. All how? Well, I must say, the Redemption Preview, it'll be there. You know, I'll be frank, I kind of shithoused the thumbnail on this because it's just, it was something we were going to use last week with Tokyo Joshi Pro.
And then she didn't fucking do it.
Willow's in one of the main matches in Redemptions. I kind of went, just repurpose it. It's a beauty, isn't it? It's a real cool, it's just a great photo. So, We will talk about Redemption, though, here in a moment. Thank you, The House Has Spoken. Appreciate you being a member. LK, member for 17 months. Any other matches Dark Side of the Ring should celebrate? I think the Okada-Shibata one is a pretty obvious one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense. With that one actually has, like, merit to be on that show, too.
Yes. The guy had brain surgery.
And you can and they love the happy ending where the guy ends up in AEW, so you can even do that part.
Yeah. Thank God he came home.
Every episode of Dark Side ends with, and then he was on Dynamite. See, without or they die, bro. It's brutal. It's a real coin toss, really.
Wow.
That's weird. Why they didn't end the Necro one with that?
No, but they give it a little flash of Joe. Now he's on. AEW shows a shot of Joe walking out to Wrestle Kingston.
With the world title. It's,
Also, don't speak too soon. He's got a lot of momentum right now. Any other ones? Boys, any other matches we could call out for that?
I can't think of one.
I can't.
It's
No,
difficult,
that was a perfect one, to be honest.
Yeah, difficult one. Our friend, the great Chris Bourdine, says, by God, it's the Noviak flying solo this weekend, so I actually get to catch the show live. Oh, baby. Hope you have a good one, Chris. Hope you're enjoying the program.
Beautiful.
Appreciate you very, very much.
Hey, we're happy to see that Chris's show went well. His band performed for the first time in many years.
Chris Bourdine is the man. I'm catching up with Chris next week for Full Sail Behind. He's
Hell yeah.
He's the best.
a beloved member of our LNG family. The House Has Spoken. Caden Lee, where you at? 67 joules. That would be 6'7", he says.
Okay, here's the perfect time. What the fuck is the Jules thing?
So that's what we're talking about. It's these things that come on the screen. They flash on the screen. Yes.
It's some
Why
new
can't I see
YouTube
them?
chat thing.
It's only on the YouTube screen. It doesn't show on stream yet. It just says joules. Yeah. Kind of sucks.
What are we
I don't know,
paying for?
For you guys, is that like is it the same level of, like, are you paying like for a super chat and you can just pick joules? Like, where do you pick joules? Or is it a thing you get, like, do you
Is
get
it a
them owed
separate
to you?
entity?
Yes. Is it crypto?
Is it like hype? Like, do you earn it from watching the stream? Like, what do you?
I don't know. Tell us. Thank you, The House Has Spoken. Tyler, member of 16 months, finally saw the invite today. Laughed, cried, movie of the year. So this
That's
was a
the
big
correct
Orange Cat
opinion.
sent a super chat back. We're actually gonna do a whole bunch of wrestling talk, and then we're gonna wind all the way back round and talk about the invite. We're gonna do it. We're gonna go all the way back round. Because Big Orange Cat sent one, Tyler sent one. We'll talk about the invite to close this program. How does that work? That's a good way to kind of
That's beautiful.
navigate this. And Cal said, "Happy poop."
Dude, sure.
I mean,
Wow.
sometimes it can be, yeah.
Interesting. All right. Thank you, Cal. I want to quickly talk about SmackDown. I didn't get to do this while you were gone, Novi. I was about Dark Side of the Ring. Please, I have notes. There wasn't a lot of wrestling of note on SmackDown, but I have a couple bullet points I'm going to throw out to Donny to talk about one of them, and then we're going to move to Redemption. If you go below in the description, you'll see a lineup of topics we have tonight. It's a different program now, really. It's a different era for the Grin. I really thought Cody and Punk had another hell of a segment. They have a real chemistry as characters. And I have to say, I was torn on the choice to kind of pull the Band-Aid off when it comes to, you know, like Cody and Punk is kind of be unspoken tension, Donny. And tonight they kind of changed that, right? With the, I mean, honestly, Cody just outright laid it on the table where he stood.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure I loved that creative direction, but I did think the execution was very good. And I thought it was one of Cody's best promos in a minute. I loved the line about, I don't swear anyone on this roster but you. I thought it was very, very good. What did you make of the Cody Punk? That was the only thing you saw, right, Donny?
Yeah, I thought it was great. I think it's weird. Like, for the two top guys, they have this kind of prickly energy. Like, they very much are the two guys that, like, they're friends, but they also secretly think the other sucks, which is like it makes for this incredible underlying, like, is it gonna happen thing. And I will say, more than ever, the more the weeks pass, they have to commit to it at Summer. They just have to do it.
Got to do something. You got to do something.
You can't go full on. You talk the talk, but I actually did all that shit while you sat at home. You can't pull that card and not do it. You just have to.
I think you got to go off the. I think Punk wins the match, but I think he wins it in a fashion that post match. I think Cody just snaps, has enough.
Cody's just like, I've had enough of this, because he already alluded to it, right, with the "I don't like you," which is like already like buzzword. Like, I respect you, but I don't. You know.
Punk had a great line about he basically said you don't trust yourself just to have a clean wrestling match and beat me. It has to be about something bigger and something more. It was very, very good. They're
call
killing
back
it.
too to the
they're the best thing. The build is the best thing in WWE by a distance. I do worry about the match because Cody is, but
I think Punk has
should be
earned
good.
Punk has earned at least some benefit of the doubt for the year he's had.
Bro, please don't worry. It's QB1.
QB1, good point. To be fair, in the same vein, Sami Zayn is in this whole picture too, and I've had a hell of a segment. I think he should be part of this coming out of the pay-per-view. I think he's going to beat Finn, but that match is like...
That's a cool undercard match.
That's a good match, yeah. He was great tonight.
Yeah, he was awesome.
So was Solo Sikoa, who, Novi, you need to see this stuff. Solo is now like a comedy babyface.
Oh, yes.
And he did this promo where he fired up LA Knight and Hobbs, or Keys, sorry, and was like just putting him over. You're the megastar, LA Knight, and LA Knight's looking like, what the fuck's wrong with this guy? What is he? It's getting
awesome.
over. I couldn't be less surprised. That was terrific. Awesome. Shaw Mother, Charlotte Flair, is
Bet she was mothering.
She's fucking awesome. She is one of the most... When Charlotte Flair was at her best as a top star pro wrestler, she had these big main event matches. She had a lot of strengths. She always felt produced to me and kind of somewhat inauthentic, which was part of the act, right? Mm-hmm. In a crazy turnabout, now she's one of the only people on the show that feels like she's actually alive and in the moment and feeling it. She's just on fire. I'm not saying the Nia Jax match was great, but that to me is the point. For a long time, Charlotte was great in big matches and was not very good at all in the lesser stuff. Mm-hmm. Now she's always on. They have an opportunity to do something really interesting with her and Alexa because her character tonight, her promo tonight, I should say, was all about the fact that she is, she doesn't even care about the belt. She just wants revenge. And the idea that could lead to a betrayal, I think, could be a legitimate happening. If they can get 40% out of what it could be, I'll be happy. And I like Kiana James. Shout out to Kiana James. So, that was SmackDown. Donny, any questions? Yes.
No, the big man is still back. Nick Aldis has done it again. I did see the Gunny segment. I like that segment. The idea that the whole stance is Aldis going, you're only saying this because you have to beat me, but you don't think you can. And I appreciated that because it obviously, look, should Gunther be facing the general manager after everything he's done? Of course not. It's fucking preposterous. But if you're
good
gonna,
stuff.
If you're gonna incorporate it in a minuscule way, the idea that Gunther is secretly insecure about all his failures and he's taking it out on a guy that he sees as less than but knows can actually put up a fight, I think is a good story to tell. Okay. And Nick Aldis should absolutely mention the fact that he's actually beaten Cody Rhodes and Gunther hasn't. So I liked it.
I definitely agree. Speaking of stories to tell, we're going to look at Redemption here. This is... The topic of this pay-per-view is so much about its existence, right? Because it was clearly intended to be Kenny's moment of winning the belt back. That got brought forward. And it now is a show, and I don't think I'm talking out of turn when I say this, because before I go any further, I think it's going to be a hell of a show. But in terms of buzz, this has to be on the lower end, right, of AEW pay-per-views. I mean, it has to be. Guys, tell me I'm off base now. It feels like there's not a ton of, anticipation. It's
Battleground. It's a B show.
That's good because we're going to talk about that later. I like that. It's very good. Yeah.
It's a B show at the end of the day.
It is. I think Ibu called it Fastlane, right? Which was always the Mania Rumble, which works. But I will say, I've seen a lot of debate about, could they have gone with someone? Couldn't they have gone with a Kenny Omega opponent that was more established? I actually think the show's lead attraction is the fact that they're taking a swing with Kevin Knight. To be honest, I don't know what would be gained from it being someone else who's already had a pay-per-view main event. At least with Kevin and Kenny, maybe there's the sense that, we could see something that will be historic in that I think in a year or two, Kevin could be doing this regularly. We can look back on this as a moment in time, right? Potentially.
It's interesting. I keep hearing this AEW Twitter circle, and they keep saying, we need new stars in the main event. We need new people here. And then when there's finally a new person there, we want to bitch and complain it's not Jon Moxley. What are we talking about? It's Kevin Knight. It's the Jet. It's the future. Why would we not give him this pay-per-view? It's like a B show. We're just getting to All In. He's obviously not going to win. Let him stand out against one of the legends of the business, legend of the company. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, great support here from you. I agree with you, to be honest. And I think, to be honest, I think most people are with it. I just think there's a there's like a contingent that almost the existence of the pay-per-view is enough for them to resent it. You know what I mean? Which I understand because I get it. But Donny, what match on Redemption stands out to you most? What do you want to see? What's the one that you're putting your money down? Give it to me.
So, besides Kenny and Kevin, I'll be very honest. The match that has me the most intrigued is this Adam Copeland, Christian Cage against the Death Rider situation. I don't even – because the thought of Christian and Claudio and Christian and Pac right now is like such a fascinating thing. And obviously, I think – look, we all have our fun with Cope. It's in Canada. It's going to be a great reaction. And Cope, I want to give him credit where credit's due. He's had some really good performances this year, so I don't want to knock him in any way in that sense. But it is just like on paper an interesting match that if nothing else shows how kind of weird this AW roster is, like that this is just like a match they can throw out. It's weird.
Yeah, we're on the same page, actually. Like, here's the thing. I could definitely see this match just being nothing. Like, just being like, gentleman's fucking free, you know? Yeah, but I don't know. Claudio and Pac is a compelling CNC opponent, I think. What I will say is I do wonder about, like, if Wembley is the Bucks, Cope and Christian, and the New Day, which I think it's going to be, and maybe even one other. I don't think it's just going to be 2-on-2, because New Day I think are going to be in that match.
If they're free, they absolutely are the match.
But then I doubt that, because if that was the case, surely you do the Bucks 2-on-2 here, because it could main event the show if it was.
I think that would have been the main event if they do.
Yeah. See what I'm saying? So like, it makes me think they are doing 2-on-2 at Wembley. Like, I don't know.
What, like Cope and Christian, and then New Day come out after?
Maybe, or maybe New Day do something with FTR. I don't know.
I was gonna say, where's FTR in this equation?
Because FTR, they're in London. So, because they're in Rev Pro.
Yeah, so they might as well be on the show.
It would be very, like, I actually don't know, but it would be surprising to me if they did Wembley Arena Rev Pro and just flew home. But they might, right? They might. They could be in the casino gauntlet. I don't know. But, God, that would be funny, right? First in the gauntlet.
You're forgetting the X factor of all this is that 3v3 tags aren't usually very good. So why don't we just let's just do the 2v2 and let's spice up the tag division, have both teams come out after, and let's make it a big thing. These four teams are kind of
like that, actually.
These four teams are going to be battling against each other for the next couple months, and we're going to have fun with it. Let's see what happens.
I do think there's also something to be said for, like, Cope and Christian. These are the shows you do, like, you should try and get one of those big money matches, quote unquote, right?
Yeah, because you don't know how much
2v2, man. Like, they're healthy right now. Let's let it happen.
Yeah,
I don't disagree with that. I would feel differently if they pulled the trigger on it here and it was like the big match on Redemption. I think it'd be fine, but they've not. So I think there's truth to
you have to do that match at some point 2-on-2. Like, you just can't leave that on the table.
I think there's a lot of truth to the point of Novi. Like, the idea of doing the 2-on-2 after you've already done a freeway tag does feel like you're kind of like you're already taking the edge off.
I've already seen them punch once or twice. I don't need to see it again at this point. I want to see the punch just together.
The big tag should be the blow off anyway.
Like if you're
man. If you're gonna do a big tag match, that should probably be the blow off of any feud. If you're gonna do multiple teams at once.
For the
let's because we have to address there's an elephant in the room, and it's fucking Shelly and Sabin. They can wait a month, brother. Like they can wait a little while.
The irony is, I think they're going to come in first, but
I think they're coming in on Wednesday.
So I actually
I forgot that show.
Wednesday's in Detroit.
I feel like they're going to do something. I feel like that's the FTR part of this equation. Is my
they're going to wrestle the gun. FTR have talked about that match forever, haven't they? Like wanting to do that. That feels like
they never got to
it. Actually,
pretty good food
because they just missed each other.
But there is truth to your point of, like, it does feel like we've kind of collectively agreed that we're going to just pretend that Machine Guns are that level of stars, and I do agree with you. That does feel like something we should be wary of, because it's they matter to wrestling fans. I'm not saying they don't matter, but they're not, you know.
I love TNA just as much as the next guy, but they're not the New Day.
Which is not much at all, I guess.
Yeah.
They did do the trios, yes, with Wardlow and Lethal.
Hey, we're talking tags. Let's not ignore the other tag match, is the one I'm excited for. This fucking 2-on-2 chain match with the Bang Bang Gang and fucking the Dogs. That match is going to be sick as fuck.
That's one of my highlights. That feels like one to circle was one of those hilarious, like, you know, every year you get 2 crazy Juice Robinson performances. Probably due one, right? The other thing that stood out, you know, a lot of our audience has not been in on the Death Riders Osprey stuff, and we've talked about it to death, right? I think we're particularly keen on it either. It feels like in fear of relitigating that topic, it feels like the Bucks match is an indication they're going to do some kind of angle, because the Bucks are wrestling Ospreay and Moxley, and the Bucks, I think, are winning, because the whole thing with them right now is they're a surging contender that keeps winning. And with that in mind, that would imply to me, surely, that they're going to do some kind of angle there, right? I mean, am I off base here? I mean, if the Bucks are beating Ospreay and Moxley, which I think they are, then surely something's going to happen with Ospreay and Moxley, right? Am I,
because they can't just lose and
Here's the problem. Yeah. We don't have time. What are we doing? What's the angle?
You're going to have to move quick. Like, my take on it earlier was, what if you do the match and you do the angle in the post-match or on Wednesday? Moxley takes 3 or 4 weeks off, returns in the gauntlet at Wembley, wins the gauntlet, and then at Wembley you go off the air with Ospreay's the champion, he's celebrating, but you just have a little moment where it cuts to the Death Riders looking on. And so you kind of have a lay of the land, you know what I'm saying? Like you have, this is where we're headed in the fall. I think that's the cleanest way to get out, I think.
Yeah, because then otherwise, what happens is you cloud the rest of the Omega will build with like the looming Death Riders thing, and then you instill that fear in people that it's going to be like a really Death Riders centric match, which is just absolutely
that's the thing.
Terrible.
I feel like Moxley doing the gauntlet, you like kind of can tell the audience like, don't worry,
he's not going to be there.
He's already come back. Don't worry about it. And then you can do like the shot when Brett won at WrestleMania 10 and Owens like watching on. You could do one of those with the Death Riders, yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's a confusing one. Isn't it? It's an odd.
Terrible. The whole thing is confusing. I mean, Don, you're talking about clouding up a storyline. Fucking what storyline at the end of the day?
Their version of one.
It was me.
Their version.
It was me, Donald, Caden, and someone else, maybe Wheezy. And I went off mic to watch a segment, and Caden was like, "They're turning Ospreay heel," and I was thinking, "How have we ended up here?" Caden Lee's in on this now, you know.
Wait, is that actually a talking point? Are we?
No, I think Caden just did it. You know, Caden just makes it up.
I know what Caden does, yeah.
He once screamed at me that they were doing a triple threat at Wembley because 3 guys were in a segment together. It's just a thing he does.
Which, by contrast, a week or so ago, he refused my claims that they were doing Okada, Takeshita, and Fletcher, which, of course, they shot the angle like 4 days later. So, yeah. Who would have thought it, right? Yeah.
Bro, we got to give Donnie some props while we're talking about Caden, because he rage-baited the fuck out of him the other day. It was awesome.
He rage-baited him.
He got it. You got him so bad, bro.
The De Niro replies. Sick. Very nicely
yeah.
done. Let's talk about the subject of our aforementioned thumbnail, Willow Nightingale. Yes. I think one of the more compelling matches on Sunday's card is her and Tekla. Tekla has been damn good in AEW and has had really strong in-ring efforts for my money, but it does feel like she's waiting for that match that really pushes through the gears and makes a statement. Feels like this is as good a chance as any. I actually think in an ideal world, this will be the main event of Sunday's show, because this feels like it has the biggest stakes, right? Like, this feels like the one where it's harder to pick. It don't feel like it's going to main event to me, just to be completely frank. Mm-hmm. But we just talked about freeways. I can't shake the feeling this is going to end up in a freeway. That's my gut feeling. Donnie, where do you stand on Willow and Tekla?
Yeah, so I'll make a declaration on this.
Oh, no,
I feel honest.
Declaration.
I'm going to eat my words on Tekla, folks. I'm going to concede. She's proven me wrong, okay? And I'm a man of... I can admit when I was wrong, and I was wrong. Tekla, you've been very good this year. I apologize.
Sure, she'll be thrilled.
She doesn't give a fuck. Somebody in the chat might
Tekla watching on with a glass of wine.
Just give it up. Give it up for some random fucker. But I do... It's interesting, right? Because you mentioned the 3-way, and Novi mentioned how the Death Riders thing was all... This, to me, is the most confusing thing there, because there's so many different paths.
Yeah.
And I don't know if because here's the thing. Joe, I like the point that you made where you said, if you believe Will and Mercedes is the match, that's the match you should do. If you already believe it in your heart, that's the biggest match, that's the match you should do. However, I don't even know if they think that's the biggest match they can do, because it feels like Mercedes is pulled in so many different directions that you almost are led to believe it's going to be a 3-way.
And beyond it being the biggest match, I'm not sure they think it's the right match for this moment. And I think there would be value in Tekla doing like something in the Stardom direction, but I don't buy for a second that would be on Wembley, so therefore I don't think that's the right thing either. So it's like, I don't know. Nobi, where do you stand on this? This is a match I think is probably the hardest match to pick on the card, right?
Yeah, which makes it interesting. I mean, it's more interesting than other like women's title matches I think we've had recently. I mean, they're all good matches. I've had fun watching them, but this is the most with stakes. With Wembley like looming, that's kind of why it has this much stakes, like you're explaining. It's just, I don't know. I think Tony really wants to reward Tekla for like holding it down, and so I think at the end of the day, it will be a 3-way. But do we really need a 3-way? I'd rather just see Mercedes and Willow run it back. And I love Tekla, and you know, I was singing her praises from day one. But when we're talking about Wembley, I will always say this about Wembley: you have to talk about the biggest matches, and Tekla being involved makes it a lesser match, because 3-ways are just lesser matches sometimes, because it's just that third partner that isn't the match people want to see. People want to see Mercedes and Willow right now. It's just,
and to your point, beyond the match itself could be really good, but on the marquee, it doesn't. Not because Tekla's not a big enough star, it just doesn't feel as box office as the singles match. Now
that's all it is.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's not a like discrediting Tekla's ability, because she's very good. I think she's like one of the best in the division.
No, you're a Tekla guy. Yeah.
I'm a big Tekla guy, but like I think there's just more. If I'm looking at the card,
I'm sympathetic towards him on this one, because clearly the Willow injury really fucked things.
Because we were supposed to get something earlier, yeah.
And I don't know. The issue too is Mercedes is, to me, there was an idea to bring her back a certain way that they had to basically like sacrifice to get her to win the Owen. And so this is a complicated one, but stick with me for a second.
Okay.
The story they wanted to tell with Mercedes, in some ways, I feel like she doesn't have to win at Wembley, because she never really rebuilt after losing all the belts. She just came back
and started winning matches.
The issue with that is, it sure feels like she should probably win at Wembley.
Correct.
And that, I don't know how to weigh that up. Like, from a character point of view, I kind of think it's more interesting for her to still have that elude her, that belt, you know? But man, like, it's fucking
2 years in a row of the Owen
2.5 years
losing.
into her run. Like, I just feel like she needs to win, and so that part of it's complicated. The part of the Tekla part of it where it's like, Tekla doesn't have a natural dance partner to work all in, but she feels like she should be in the match because she's been just honestly a rock for that division during really, really trying times. It's very complicated.
It's very complicated. You bring a good point to the table where it's, 2.5 years she's not won the main belt, but I mean, Willow would have had it for maybe a month if she wins at that point.
That's the other
it's
part
like,
of the equation,
I think Mercedes can wait a little longer and let Willow have a little bit more of a run, have her build herself up a bit in the like fall, and then we'll get to it in the winter.
Here's what I'd say. If you're going to beat Mercedes again, you have to be committed to like a very clear outline for her as a character, right? Like you have to okay, this is exactly the beats we're hitting. It can't be, we'll figure it out. And again, we don't know what was originally planned for Mercedes, because if you guys remember, there was a promo after she lost the TBS belt, I believe, where she had like, it was almost like cinematic, and she'd kind of lost her mind, right?
Yes.
It's like, I mean. She just came back, which is fine. But you get my point here, that it feels like there was story left.
There was an
table,
idea there that could happen.
So, I don't know. I'm not against any of the ideas. I completely get the idea of a freeway, and I kind of think that's what they're going to do, because I do understand, like...
Yeah.
I definitely get wanting to reward Tekla. And I also get, even beyond that, being like... Should Willow's, if Mercedes is winning, if she is winning, should Willow's first title reign be a month? Should this,
That's my problem. It shouldn't be at the end of the day.
Right. Yeah, because the numbers thing is weird, but like for Willow specifically, because you've waited this long anyway, and like she should have absolutely had this belt by now at least once. So it's like, do you want to cut her legs from under her again?
Right.
And look, we should probably address this in chat too. Chi-Town's bringing it up. We're having the match a lot. If it's a 1v1, if it's Mercedes Willow, literally, I don't care. They're two big stars of the division. They could be the two biggest stars in the division, probably. Yeah, let's have the match a couple times. It's fine.
They wrestled twice, right?
They've only wrestled twice.
They've wrestled twice. This would be if they do it again, it'd be the rubber match, because they're tied.
Do it again, it'll be a third. If they do it again,
technically
it'll be a fourth. Who cares, man? These are two big stars, and there's a lot of story there if they really want to commit to a Mercedes plan. But they just got to have one.
This is I think if you go back to March or April, you say in an ideal world, where do we end up at Wembley? I think it's Mercedes and Willow, because to me the idea was Willow winning at New Year's, whatever they call it, Smash, was the thing that like really fucked up Mercedes' run, right? Like obviously, yes, she lost to Chris, but that was Willow beat her on television, and that was if you guys remember, that was a really big happening, that match.
Yeah.
It was a big deal. And the idea would be that it all kind of comes back to this. This is her first opponent in AEW. Narrative-wise, it was perfect. It definitely isn't perfect now because it feels like you're putting the pieces in different places. And that's why I think people are torn on it. I think it's important to stress this isn't Tekla or Willow, Tekla or Mercedes. They're all awesome. I'm a fan of all three of them. It's trying to figure out what the right match is. And to be honest, I don't think any of the solutions are perfect. So I think we're all kind of a little gun shy, right? Like even the singles, I think we're all kind of like, damn, like
I don't want to
someone
leave
best.
Tekla out though. It's Spider.
But it's,
Yeah, right, exactly.
too is
She's
like-
awesome.
it's the conversation we always have of like, if you do a match on TV, that doesn't mean you can't do it on pay-per-view. Like, you can have the same match multiple times and build to it in a way that makes it different. Like, that's on you as a booker to make each match feel important in its own way. Like, the match that Mercedes and Willow had at Double or Nothing was important and great for its own reason, that it was Mercedes' first AW match.
Yeah.
She was testing herself. And the second match was different in that it was Willow's chance to redeem herself because she had subconsciously been chasing Mercedes throughout the whole year. So you can find ways to make each beat mean something different, even if it's the same pairing both times.
Yeah.
Or every time.
It's an interesting one. I think as a match inside the ropes, I think the Freeway could be a hell of a match. They would really have to be on their game in terms of getting that thing, making sure that feels like a big match. That would be the biggest thing. Like, because a lot of the stuff with everyone, I've been including recently that I say self-fulfilling prophecy a lot, so I'm sorry I'm going to do it again. But sometimes with the Freeways, it can be that where I find bookers kind of like trade in the idea of a big build for like, well, it's going to be a freeway, they'll have good action. And it's like, you can't do that with this because it's all in. Like, you still need to give it all the bells and whistles, I think. So, whatever way they go, there's options. By the way, we haven't even talked about the fact, you know, it's heel versus heel and it ain't perfect, but they could also just do Mercedes and Tekla. They could, right? I mean, it's like, Tekla's a star in her own right, so that's not impossible. The Sisters of Sin have kind of like half semi-lean babyface, right? So, yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting one. And I think the Rickster here touches on gets to the heart of the matter. And this is something that I talk about a lot WrestleMania season, and I think it's a great thing to close it out on. It fucking sucks that if you're a Tekla fan, you're basically resigned to the fact that if she does not win here on the weekend and she's out of the picture, she probably is not going to do anything important at Wembley. That is indicative of problems way bigger than AEW even. Certainly bigger than this particular picture. The example I always use is WrestleMania season. You see people fantasy book their cards. You watch it every year. They'll post their cards and it will be all the women's title matches will get on and that's it. You know, like there's never any like
no undercard
there's no
women's
rivalries.
matches.
There's no like personal issues. It's okay. I've ticked the US box. I see, and in reality, which makes it even worse. In actual fact, the cards usually have less matches than that anyway. So, you know, when you're a star of Tekla's level, Willow, Mercedes, you shouldn't be all or nothing in terms of in terms of getting on Wembley. You have to be in the title match, and that creates a kind of toxicity in the conversation. A toxicity we're about to talk about in terms of the WWE side of things. So there was a clip on Unreal, which Donny, you watched, correct? Or you watched some of it?
We watched the first 2 episodes in the Discord. Yeah, drew a house, by the way.
How do you feel when you say that? You proud of that? Or?
I'm proud that I drew a house with it. Yeah.
Interesting. There was a clip. I don't know if you saw this, Novi, with Liv Morgan. Did you see this by chance?
No, I thought that was a screenshot I saw.
You saw that too. You saw a scene. There was a scene on Unreal where she comes through the curtain after WrestleMania, and she is very, very thankful, and she says something to the effect of, "Do we save some time? Thank you for letting me do this."
Yeah, I did see this.
And look, I think it's an instinctive reaction to be like, Jesus, you know, like you kind of go, oh. But I do think the conversation coming out of it is very short-sighted, and I want to quickly talk about this because I talked about it before, but we'll do it on this platform because I don't have a
Stand up for WWE. Okay.
Absolutely not. the takeaway coming out of this is the women's division is suffering because today's women's wrestlers aren't as driven as the prior generation. I think there is probably truth to that. However, I don't know if that actually gets to the cause of the matter. It feels like a mistake to simply look at a symptom or, and be like, well, is there truth to it? Maybe, probably even I would go as far as say. However, in a system that is entrenched in treating the women differently and treating the women as lesser than and actively ensuring the women aren't main event level stars, it does feel kind of crazy and out, like, just to me, off base to be like, well, it's the women's fault, surely. Like, think about it in any other context, that really would come off crazy, would it not? Like, bro,
yes,
this deeply sexist system, who's to blame? Well, the woman ain't standing up for themselves. Like, what are we talking about, bro? Like,
they're not put in a position to do so.
Like, this is, but these are, people are saying this, and they're not even thinking about what they're saying. Listen, the clip looked crazy, and Liv has a million reasons to be a negative PR right now, that's a different story for another show that I ain't fucking gonna be on. But if you think it would be beneficial for a woman to fight the power every turn, I would ask you for the evidence of that, because to me, and this is my opinion, Becky Lynch, who is someone who always has control of her creative and like really tries to direct her stuff, which I think is has been a strength of hers, right? But in the same vein, I think over the last year, it's actually resulted in her being kind of like cocooned in her own bubble and kind of separated from the pack. I would say that Charlotte Flair and her attempts to play that same game last year led to what I believe to be almost a political hit opposite Tiffany Stratton. It's almost like the old guys in that room are not actually going to respond to women politicking with, oh, that's awesome, girl power, and instead will go, they think they can fucking tell us what to do?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, Joe, how all these raggedy old men don't really want to interact with the stories that are presented by the women because they think theirs are better. Interesting.
Now, that doesn't mean the Liv clip comes off good. It doesn't. It ain't a good clip. It's kind of lame. It's a shame. I don't love that as being the way wrestling is now. I don't like that. But the idea that the talent has leverage, some of them do, certainly. And listen, would there be value in, I don't know, a Rhea Ripley, I hate to name people, but in a Rhea Ripley or a Liv Morgan being like, fucking give me this, that, and the third? Like, yeah, there would be, but we have to be realistic about the system they're in. I saw the start of last year, we saw the Alexa Bliss public contract stalling, right, where there was like a standstill. They gave her that contract, and let's get real, bro. What happened in the month or so after suggested they were just thrilled to give her that money. They took her off TV immediately and were like, fuck, I can't believe she got us, Like, yeah.
Well, then they realized that she low-key got them, and now she works every fucking week. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
So, I just think, and I want to stress again, that doesn't mean there's not truth and merit to, like, they're not built the way Charlotte and Sasha or Becky and Bayley. Like, because let's be honest, that generation was they're incredible. Like, they were game changers, dude. They changed the business, but it also feels crazy outdated and toxic to be like, I don't know, man, that system is sexist, but the women need to really fucking stand up for themselves. Like, man, I don't buy that. Donny, anything on this?
Yeah. So not particularly this part, but I agree with everything you guys said. But this is another issue that I've seen this week that has really irked me. So on Monday, Raw had 0 women's matches and 0 live women's segments. Okay. Now, I don't need to, me or Novi or Joe don't need to sit here and tell you how fucking abhorrent that is in 2026. You guys already know the deal. However, I want to read you guys tonight's SmackDown card, and then I'll present my issue. Tonight's SmackDown card featured 3 women's matches, which all included Brie Bella versus Lainey Reed, which ended in a DQ after like 3 minutes. Chelsea Green and Kiana James, who are both women who have literally been given nothing to prove to the audience that they have any stock in the hierarchy of the show, went to about 4 minutes. And Charlotte Flair and Nia Jax. Now, Charlotte's a big star, but a match that, again, ended in a DQ. Yes, Joe.
Please respect Brie Bella's win-loss record. She won with a hold. Thank you. Carol.
Sorry. She won with a roll-up. However, the thing that is really that is really bothering
A
me
wrestling hold.
I'm sorry, I thought that was supposed to win matches.
It is.
Go.
No, the thing that bothers me is everything is a maths equation to people, right? So they assume that because SmackDown had 3 women's matches, it's automatically a better usage of the women than Raw. Now, on the surface, yes, because there was actually women present. That is better. However, the idea that if you just put 4 women's matches on a 2-hour show and none of them actually mean anything and none of them achieve anything of note, that it's automatically better is fucking stupid. That's not true. Just because you put people on TV does not mean you've given them substance to work with. It's completely style over substance. It is a facade. It's why, look at the SummerSlam card of Graves. There's 3 women's matches. Like Joe said, it's all checking boxes. It's the women's title, and a Legends 6-woman tag, which all respect to the Bellas and Paige, but I don't think that is the best usage of the women in WWE. Now, you can argue that a lot of the big hitters... Brie Bella is great. You can argue that a lot of the big hitters are out with either injury or visa issues, whatever the case may be. However, if you look at the available talent pool that this company has, you absolutely cannot tell me that they could not have come up with 5 matches across a 2-night event that would perfectly encapsulate the talent that they have better.
Wait, SummerSlam is 2 nights and there's 3 women's matches?
There's so far 3 women's matches on night 2. 3.
Whoa.
3, and one of them.
Whoa!
One of them actually.
They did this thing. Go on, there you go.
One of them, Novi, is a ladder match for an interim women's championship because Rhea's hurt and they didn't want to vacate. A match that is now consolidated 2 separate women's matches that would have been on the show. They decided to just put it in a clusterfuck.
This needs to be discussed. So the report was they were originally going to do Charlotte and Jade, which they've been building to for months, and Blake and Tiffany. And because Rhea's hurt, they decided they can't do that for some unknown reason. Yeah. And they're going to do a 5-way ladder match that is going to feature Tiffany but not Blake.
Correct.
And I'm not saying the report wasn't true, but like, what?
How did you get here? Like, how do we go from here to here in a week? How did this happen?
I'm not even like the Blake Monroe run. Like, it'll be what it'll be, and I'm not nearly as bullish on it because I don't get the sense they have grand plans for, which is why I don't actually believe the report. In the same vein, and I really hope I'm wrong about this because I think the world of JC Jane. I can't shake the feeling that in 2 years, people are still going to be going, if only Rhea was healthy, should have wrestled her at SummerSlam. And like, bro, I don't believe that for a second. I'm going to be honest with you. I just don't.
Chance, bro.
I don't buy it. Like, to me, if that was the case, they'd still have her, like, in the fucking picture and in rhythm doing that stuff. And
what was her last match? She lost to Paige?
Yeah.
Is that the last time she worked?
I think so, yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. And one final note on this before we just talk briefly about Bayley, and then we're going to review some wrestling matches. Right, you're enjoying the show, folks. If you are, please do smash the like button. It's what Bob would want. God rest his soul. Yeah, absolutely. I think one thing that is a systemic thing that I think would actually be good for the division and would raise the standards of the division is I think they should be a lot more they should take the world titles a lot more seriously than they do. And what I mean by that is with the men, oh my god, dude, unless you're Damian Priest, you gotta tick every box 10 times over to get one of those belts. I guess, or Jay. But like, with LA Knight, it's like, no, he can't be the world champion because insert this, that, and the third. Or like this other guy, no, because he's not. Like we talk about Chad Gable challenging for the belt and people are like, no, can't be. Like, I think that could be a negative in the sense that it creates this like big gap between. But if there's one strength for this regime, I do think the world titles matter. And my evidence for that would be when Sami won that belt under very questionable creative. In, not ideal fashion. It meant a lot to people because them belts do matter again. They're not thrown around the way they were. They've been hot-shotted, right, Donny? But they've been among top guys.
Yes.
Look how long it took Drew to get back there, right, for example. I think that's actually a positive in the grand scheme of things. And I do think with the women, there is an inherent difference in how they see those belts.
Yes.
And when I look at how, like, for example, Jade won the belt last fall, with like a quick Saturday night's main event, like mid-card
like
match.
5 minutes, yeah. Something.
You would never, ever see that for the men's belt. Like,
no.
Ever.
You also wouldn't, like you said, you wouldn't get there's a mentality of everyone should get a turn. It's like, that's not true. Like, yes, the belts are fey and it's not, but like, no, that's not how the show should work. Not everyone should just get a title because.
Let's drill down on the matter, okay? So let's go. All right, so SummerSlam, the one title match we have with Io and Liv. I haven't got a big problem with that. I'm not convinced that Liv as a singles heel champion. I think a babyface still make a lot of sense, and I have for a long time. Maybe not the best time for it, but what's up now? What's
I
up?
feel like I've heard that match happening at minimum 4 times.
So basically they did the Queen of the Ring final where Liv, it was like G1 style. She entered it as champion, and she lost to Io, and now Io's going to wrestle her again. So that match is fine because they're both big stars. If they have time, whatever. Let's go to WrestleMania. Donnie, what are the women's world title matches at WrestleMania?
So we had Rhea and Jade on night 2, and we had Stephanie and Liv on night 1.
I'm not a runtime guy. All right. When was the last men's world title match that was as short as Liv and Steph? Was it the Kurt Angle Ray Orton match?
It might have been, yeah. Might have been 9 minutes.
That was probably not even as short, right? That was longer, right? Probably.
No, yeah, because Stephanie and Liv was about 6 minutes, I think, give or take.
I take it back. Someone in the chat said it'll be a Brock match, but you get my. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't the same thing, right?
Which is not any better.
A Brock match was its own genre of match.
Brock
like
and Goldberg. Brock and Goldberg.
That's what I'm saying. But you get my point.
Yes,
it's not the same thing. The way that match was presented at WrestleMania this year was like a total like mid card thing. Like
it didn't even matter.
Yeah, and if you look at SummerSlam last year, the title matches were Tiffany and Jade, which was like 8 minutes long and was fun, but it was 8 minutes long.
And then it was Rhea, Io, and Naomi.
Right, which that one had some punch, right? But you're seeing a trend here. What was the last time? This is a question for anyone in the chat. Please help me out because I don't know the answer. I'm asking the question. What was the last time both women's world title matches on a pape were main event worthy caliber in branding and presentation? That's what I would like to know. Because, I mean, in a week, whatever you think of Seth and Roman, it's a main event match, and obviously Cody and Punk's a main event match, right? So they've done it in a week on SummerSlam. They'll have that, right?
Correct.
When would be the last time? Cal says Mania 40.
So Io and Bayley, I guess.
Io and Bayley,
because they snuff it out by the end, but they do have like the long build of like the jealousy seeping in and all that stuff.
This one's not a bad shout. Tiffany and Charlotte were close, but then it felt like after things fell apart, they kind of just pulled, like they really. Do you remember the go home angles for that? They like really
petered off too far. It doesn't count.
Yeah.
38's a good one. Honestly, with Bianca and Becky, that's a good answer.
And this is a great point. Young Blink said, said not even the women's only pay per view presented them in that way. Yeah.
No, look at the weekend they threw them on.
Again, to put a bow on this, and I'm going to talk about Bayley. I'm not saying there's not any merit to the idea that the women probably do have a different mentality to a generational crew that fucking changed the business, but the women have not main evented a pay-per-view outside of Evolution, unless I'm mistaken. Donnie, please help me. Since Rhea Ripley went back to Australia in 2024.
That is correct, yes.
That is now 2.5 years ago.
Yep.
And let's be honest, we're all friends here. Mm-hmm. There is no world in which that would have main evented outside of Australia. No shot.
Absolutely not.
No way.
Proven by the fact that they did that exact match last January and it didn't main event.
So where would it go before that? How long would it be before that? Do you know?
Mercedes and Bianca, maybe?
There has to be one in between. There has to be.
No, it might be Mercedes and Bianca.
Chat, what's the one in between? There has to be one. That's 2021.
It might be. Man. Dude, think about the pay-per-views before then, dude. Right. It might be.
Okay, someone in the chat will know. But
yeah,
I say all this to say, do not overestimate the leverage that these talent have.
There's none, apparently. Gail would know. He just did the journey.
There you go. Thank you, Donnie. So it was 2020 from 2021 to today. There's been one, and it was in Australia. And to Young Blink's point, to bring him up on the screen again, what's the next one? What we building to that's going to be of that ilk?
Dude,
I say all this to say, do not overestimate the leverage of the talent that you're pleading with to fight their corner. Yes, Novi.
My point on this was I think people conflate their own interest too much with the company's interest. The way you see women's wrestling is not how they see it. Even if you get so much out of an 8-minute women's match, they don't see that as anything to care about. It is just something to have because it ticks a box. You
Yeah.
need to please separate that, because that's the only way that you're going to have this leverage conversation, is if you address the fact that they
You have to
don't
be
care as much
realistic.
as you.
Yeah.
Like,
you have to be
at
realistic.
the end of the day, you care more about
Right.
whoever the fuck. I couldn't even name
Yeah.
one. Like Blake
Jason
Monroe,
Jane,
then they
Jason
care
Jane's
about
the
Blake
perfect
Monroe.
example, dude.
And, you know, let's be clear, this isn't like a WWE only problem. Like, we've talked about AEW's women's division over and over again, but this is just the topic we're doing right now because this was the topic of the
It
week.
sucks
right?
in the same fucking way. Let's
Right,
just
yeah. We just talked earlier about like how if Tetler's not in the match at Wembley, she's probably just going to be like in like the 0
which is an
hour,
inherent
right?
problem.
But
Yeah.
like the idea that Liv Morgan, if she really fucking stood her ground and was like, nah, the idea that they'd be like, oh, that's awesome. Good luck, bro. Like
Bro.
they just move on. Like you haven't got as much leverage as you think, as fans think anyway. I think
Yeah.
talent's very aware of that. They make
yeah.
it painfully fucking obvious to them by firing people every 3 months.
Bro,
So
Liv Morgan walks up to one of these dudes and asks
Yeah.
for more time. Then they're gonna have
I
to go
hear
and
ya.
cut one of the guys' times, and they'll be digging in their butt the whole way. And then it'll get to the show, and they'll go,
Oh, yeah.
"Fuck, bro, never asked them. Sorry, because
Right.
they're too scared to do it.
Yeah.
They're terrified of these people."
And I've said it once, say it a million times, and we'll close with this. If that's cool with you, Donny. You got anything else before we move
No,
on?
no,
Okay.
yeah, you guys said all of it.
I'll say it again. Ric Flair has said many, many things that were outright lies. However, he is the person who put it on the record and said what everyone has said elsewhere. That was not Tiffany Stratton's line when she said what she said about Charlotte.
Fuck no.
And think about that, and think about that when you say stuff like Charlotte would do her own thing. She would fight. She did, and there was someone in that team that was like, "Oh, Tiffany could blister her with this line." It's a scary game you're playing right there. So we'll leave it at that. Let's talk about one of our favorites. Talk about Bayley. This is going to be a brief segment because I think our conclusion on this is going to be collective, which is before we go any further. What was that?
Nah, it was, bro. Thank you.
Now, before we go any further, it goes without saying, Bayley should do whatever the fuck Bayley wants to do. She's earned that right and then some. I mean, everyone has that right, but in her case, I'm not going to say a single thing of like, if she resigns, like, bro, just do your thing. It's Bayley, bro. She's one of the legends to me of her time.
Yeah.
But as a fan, it is interesting. I just wanted to go read and chat. Tell us what you think. Gut feeling, Donny. Does she stay or does she go?
Fuck.
ESPN first take framing there, Novi. Did you see that?
Yeah, that's all
That
right,
was
dude.
godly.
The ticker's got it. Bayley, all elite. Dot, dot, dot.
We got a few topics on the side. It's all our matches.
Yeah.
I don't, dude. I get the sense she's gonna stay. I don't know
Interesting.
why. I don't even really know why. I just think she's
Yeah.
gonna stay.
With these, I usually have really strong feelings. On this one, I legit think this is like a 50-50.
Yeah, I have no idea. If you ask me tomorrow, I'll tell you she's leaving.
I'm not a reporter, but I will say this: there was a lot of talk about this like a year ago, and then it went really quiet, and then it started up again like really recently. There is definitely a vibe of like people think something's happening. Like you can feel that, right? Like, listen, the reports that were put out were very, there's only so much that can be said. But like the reports were phrased that way for a reason, in that there is a conversation in wrestling that something's going to happen. That she's really thinking about it. Now,
Yes.
that doesn't mean she's going at all, and a lot can happen. What do you think, Novi? Gut feeling, mate.
Well, I'll bring the super chat up because it's exactly what I was thinking from Von Tel Blitz. We appreciate you.
Yes.
It's very similar to Kevin Owens' decision, where it could very easily be like disregarded, all this talk, as her vying for leverage and for her to get, a fair wage that she deserves.
Mhm.
But there's also a world where she goes, fuck, I'd really like to wrestle Chris Statlander. Fuck, I'd really like to end my career on something a little more exciting, a little more different than what I've done recently. So for now, I don't know every little bit of like lore that's been dropped or every little thing that's said. I think she's going to go the route where she wants to finish her career on something just a little more dynamic and maybe set herself up for like, she's not gonna end the partnership on bad terms. She's probably gonna go back, do NXT stuff
they
sometime.
dude, people love
They love her, and I think she loves them. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of women that are vying for that spot. She might think, let's go see what we can do. Otherwise,
I don't think Bayley gives a fuck about whether she's winning or losing. Thank you again to Von Tel. But I do think Bayley wants to contribute, And while she will always contribute in WWE, I do get the sense, if you look at the lay of the land, she is somewhat of a, like, she's kind of like a super natty, right now. Like she's, don't get me wrong, she's important, but she doesn't feel like someone that when they get to big shows, are like, who's Bayley working, right? Like, she's plug and play, she's a supporting act. And I want to be clear, if she goes to AEW, I'm not suggesting she's going to be the champion for a year. However, if you really think about where she's at in her dirty run, there is an argument to be made, and I say this is a huge mark for her. Like, what is the next thing for her?
What is she? What hasn't she done?
She's kind of done it all.
That's
It's
it.
just
And in AEW, you know, the Mercedes match would be a big match, but I think as a fan, personally, as much as I'd like to see that, I want to see her in Willow. I want to see her in Chris. I want to see her in Tekla to go back.
Her and Jamie Hayter.
Her and a returning Timeless Tony. Now, we have to be very realistic about this, and I'll get this out of the way now because I could see it happening if she does go. I am very aware that after a few months, creatively,
Tony
I may be sitting there going, well, it's good to watch her on Collision, but I think there's more interesting things she can do.
Oh, yeah.
But I think she wants to go in there and challenge herself as a wrestler, which is why it's a coin toss, it's 50-50, but I do lean towards her jumping. But, I mean, the biggest thing I want to stress before we move on is her value is just immense. And any suggestion otherwise, to me, I think is insane.
yeah.
On camera, her matches are going to be more polarizing in the sense that I think she has her cadence, the way she does things, and I'm not sure that will be for everyone in TV matches. Big matches, she'll be fine. Like, I could definitely see there being TV matches a bit like, oh, this is it, huh? Like, because she ain't very flashy anymore, right?
She doesn't
like,
pop like that for a lot of people. And that's
she's so fucking good, and she has such a great
Bro, that
wrestling
Lyra
mind.
match was awesome last week, dude.
And more than any of that, like, if I was in AEW, which I'm clearly not, I think there's a chance to build like an infrastructure with her involved. Like, a wrestler contract's one thing, right? She's gonna wrestle, but dude, what's stopping you from talking to her about? Okay, let's figure out a system where you can be a part of this program.
Joe, me and you are like this on this situation. We're like this right now. Because I agree, bro. She's got too much to offer to let that slip. You got to let her teach some of these young wrestlers. What could a My World benefit from a Bayley being around? Like,
there was a story a year or two ago. Do you remember this? It was like they talked about a training school in the Carolinas with FTR and Cobra. Listen, man. FTR and Bayley as being part of like your program.
Please God.
Wow.
Dude, and
they're all tight, you know? Like, I'm just saying.
We love a lot of these wrestlers. Man, a training school could be a game changer.
Oh, yeah.
We could teach some different styles in there, man. We could really get explosive.
And it's like you don't have to do it where it's like an in-house where you have NXT. Like, they can go and wrestle elsewhere, but they're like your... You know, I'm just saying.
You enhance what they're learning elsewhere, not just training them your way.
She's clearly passionate about it. She's doing the camps already. Yeah, so I don't know. I just think there's a lot of things you could talk to her about. I just think you don't have an infrastructure like WWE. Like, here's the thing with WWE, they could give her a big gig, but like, there's so many fucking hands in that system. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just be like,
she won't really get to teach what she wants to teach.
Yeah, she's like, she can do it in her pockets and stuff, but like, AEW doesn't have any structure for that. Like, they could start it with her. It's a different thing.
Which just would be the right decision to make. You got to start it at some point, you know.
Yeah, and who better than maybe the most respected worker? Like, and you know, and everyone loves her, and she's If you really wanted to run back this conversation for the probably a millionth time, we could maybe build an ROH that's a little more interesting around some of these guys. You know, we could try. I mean, what's stopping us? I personally think there's a real opportunity to, and I've first worked for a long time, to partner with indies. And, you know, we will have fun with Hook and even come from the chat, but like, someone has clearly told Hook, like, bro, you need to like work these indies. And we all, look, let's be honest, we all see the GC Dub graphics and go, fucking hell. But he's doing it. Right? Like, someone's clearly told him you need to do that shit. And so I think even if you have a system, there needs to be partnerships and needs to be places for people to work. But to Novi's point, it also wouldn't be a bad idea if Ring of Honor felt like a true trajectory.
Yes.
I've been screaming the fucking ROH developmental for years, so.
Yeah. And if you're not comfortable with being developmental, just name it something else and let Ring of Honor rest. You know, I don't
That's
see.
okay.
Yeah,
Please.
I don't see
Let the DVDs go, brother.
Yeah,
It's been working so hard.
Listen,
I got to say, this has been a lot of wrestling. We haven't talked about the matches yet. We had a hell of a time here, fellas. This has been great. Yeah.
all the best to Bayley. She's one of the best wrestlers that, in my opinion, that have ever lived. And so I hope that she makes a decision that she finds happy and that she fucking makes whoever pays her pay her handsomely because she fucking earned it.
She's awesome. Absolutely awesome. Chi-Town, Super Chat. I feel like Redemption is going to be looked back on like All Out 2023. Higher ceiling with a lot of these matches, a couple of good angles, and you're there. I definitely agree that in terms of the card,
it's going to deliver.
I wouldn't even see it as over-delivering because to me it looks like it's going to be a great show. My only concern is hopefully the people are loud because it is a big room and they've not packed it. Like they have a good crowd. They have like 7,000 people, I think, or something like that. But as we know and we've learned, 7,000 in a fucking monster room.
The acoustics can be a little.
So that's the one thing, but like
the
I think it's
quality of
gonna
the
be a
show
really good show. I don't see Kenny and Kevin having a bad match.
We didn't even talk about the fact that Kyle Fletcher and Bandito are wrestling and fucking Andrade is wrestling Mark Davis. Like,
if Kyle Fletcher and Bandito ends up being on our match of the year ballot for the Grinnies, I wouldn't be surprised at all. Like,
and that's like the fucking that's like the sixth build match on the show.
Yeah, need to.
He needs to get some wins to get in the rankings.
Yeah, this needs to be his last big pay-per-view loss for a bit. Need to give him a shove, I think. He will always be featured because of how good he is, but he has lost consecutively.
We need a big win here.
Need him to gain his aura back.
Tell me out. So he did Swerve,
Moxley,
and now this is like that would be 3 in a row, right? He missed Dynasty, I think.
We laid down a Swerve in
Dynasty. Was he in the? I think he might have been in the Gauntlet in Dynasty. Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. Like he's, to be clear, he's fine. He's
There's
better than he's better than like guy who has great matches and loses. Like he can really be a big star for them, I think. So
I mean, thank God he's ROH champion. So
true, good point. Wheezy, Painmaker match. That's right. He wrestled Andrade. That's what it was. He wrestled Andrade at Revolution.
He was in the TNT Gauntlet.
Was it Double or Nothing? Right.
Swerve was Double or Nothing.
So it'd be 4. Have him win the next one. Painmaker match is the match I'm most excited for. Wheezy, I'm not putting this over. I'm going to have to deal with it on Sunday. I'll deal with it then. Thank you very much.
Bro, I'm going to have to lead while you step away. No.
I'm going to stay for that. I'll do that for my friend Wheezy. Big Fat Orange Cat asked for the top 5 favorite books you've read this year.
Oh, Big Fat Orange Cat. I'm so freaking glad you asked. I'm going to read them off now. Withering Heights, Moshi Moshi, my banana Yoshimoto. The Iliad, The Odyssey, and Give Me the Farthest Shore by Ursula K. Le Guin.
They all sound good. None of them really compare to the best of Wrestling Observer's 1997, but we all read different things.
Tastes are always different.
Yes, indeed. Let's talk about some wrestling. Speaking of tastes, this was a Dave 5 that I have to say I was just about as high on it as he was, which is often with Dave 5s I go, oh, wow.
You sure?
Natsupoi and Syuri had a match on July 18th for the IWGP strap. This closed the opening night of the 5-star as a title match, and there's sometimes there are like, just to be transparent, as someone that's not locked in on Joshi, sometimes the really touted matches is someone no connection, like it's like can be a hollow to me, you know. It's like it was good, but it didn't hit the way I want. I thought this match was unbelievable. I'm intrigued where you guys stand on that front. Novi, Natsupoi, of course, just announced he's retiring in January, so this has a little bit of extra emotional gravity. What did you make of this, mate?
Joe, I'm just going to give it up with you. This match is Hope Core. I'm glad that this match exists in modern wrestling because when I boot up this when I got the match listing, bro, I was like, oh, we're getting a Stardom main event. Oh man, like it's just gonna look like a Stardom main event. And like all love, those matches are good, but like fuck, they don't excite me like that.
Yeah.
But this thing is no checklist, no spots, because that's just what you do. We hit each other hard. We don't stop. We rapid fire. We bring energy. This match was great. This was like one of the I probably since Ospreay and Joe, and since like before then it might have been like a stretch too. I was like, man, wrestling is fucking awesome because like these two are really fucking good. And I watched it too on the day that Natsupoi announced her retirement. So like watching her go out there and ball the fuck out after saying she's going to call it quits is kind of what it's all about. I want to point out two moments in particular that I loved. You know how I feel about striking changes. They make me sick in the head. But this one, when they're holding hands on the ground, on their knees, throwing bombs, I felt something in my spirit.
Let's just park that for a second.
Okay.
One of the reasons that ruled so much was it wasn't just tit for tat back and forth.
Yes.
At every turn, you got the sense that Natsupoi was climbing a mountain. Like, they're trading strikes, sure, but within that, there was so much story because it felt like she had no real shot in that exchange, but she was fighting with so much courage, the people were with her, right? It was awesome. It
was so much spirit. It's what people say, like, Natsupoi is so great at, and, like, I don't really have that connection as much, but, like, we know Six Star is a big Natsupoi fan, and I remember, you know, they were talking about this match, and they were talking about, like, that moment, but there was that, and then there was the Made in Japan near fall. What does she mean by that? But it was, I was at work watching this, and I jumped out of my chair. I was actually so excited on a near fall. I bit super hard. It's kind of wrestling magic. This is one of my favorite matches of the year. I had a great time watching this.
This would be in my, I would say, at least top 10, maybe top 5 on the year. I thought it was
It's low-key my top 3.
Blew me away. Donny, were you as high on this? I'm intrigued.
I will. This is gonna make me sound not as high. However, I still thought this was like. hold on, no, because here's the thing.
Sorry, it wasn't Bayley.
No, this is better than that. I'm just saying, like you said, top 5. I mean, like this is fucking outstanding. Like it's not a no. This see this is the.
Here's the thing. This is what nasty what I did there. I didn't ask if he liked it. I went, "Are you as high?" And I knew he wasn't.
Oh yeah,
you
set him up. Let's turn him heel, Novi. Let's get some heat on him.
This
Let's go.
is crazy.
Right. Carry on.
So I watched this match. I watched this match on Sunday morning on my way to Fanatics Fest on a fucking New York subway. This is a real story. Wow. All right.
Yeah, that was a crazy JJ.
Yeah,
JJ coming from fucking half court. Holy shit.
I don't even know
what pulled up with that shit, man.
Fucking, I'm gonna let it fly.
Look at this. All right, carry on.
I don't even know how I'm supposed to now. The match is fantastic. It's one of the best of the year. Syuri has had just a spectacular year, and what I really appreciated about this match is how different it started to all of her other matches, where Syuri's presented as the ass kicker, right? The world beater. She's gonna beat the shit out of everybody. But in this match, it starts off with Natsupoi. She's the house on fire, right? She's bringing the intensity. She's bringing the energy. And for the first time in any of Syuri's big matches, she's playing defense, right? So you're seeing her pick up the intensity, pick up the stiffness. Her kicks are literally echoing through the building. It's fucking unbelievable. And it's a great change of pace from the typical Stardom main event where, yes, it's fast-paced. Yes, it's go, go, go. But there's still that hint of nuance, right? Where, like you said, Joe, Natsupoi's climbing a mountain. But in a lot of ways, Syuri's climbing her own mountain. And maybe not so much physically, but the mental barrier of someone's actually challenging me. Someone's actually stepping up to me. And they know that they're not going to outstrike me, but they're fighting me anyway. And it's an interesting – I always find it interesting to see how wrestlers incorporate sort of mental aspects into their matches because that's stuff that you can't really see overtly, right? That's something you just kind of have to infer or interpret for yourself. But it's always, in the case of Syuri especially, when you're able to tell the story through a match that has this much life and this much physicality, it really paints this picture of it's a war of attrition. It's trial by fire. And I thought both women matched each other in a way that not many pairings this year have. No. And it's a match that I think the more the year goes on, I think it's only going to grow in singularity in that we're going to see these women wrestle different people a lot. We're going to see them a lot. But I don't know if they're going to have a match that's built to and that's worked to in this way. And in that sense, it's probably one of the most unique matches I've seen all year. It was fucking tremendous. And yeah, they're fucking awesome.
Dude, we got to show love to that right there. We got to show love because you watch a guy, he gets rattled at the start. We're coming for him.
He rallied
at the end, he fucking throws a lure out there. He goes, this is going to be one of the more unique matches once this is all said and done.
He kind of
respect, bro. Ultimate respect.
Turned himself back babyface. It was like Cody promo before Mania last year, where he like QB1'd it, you know?
Yeah,
it was like that.
Very much.
I thought this match was outstanding. I mean, from an action point of view, it's basically unmatched all year. I think, like, because it has the pace and the speed, but it's also like disgustingly physical. Like, it has that two sickening headbutts.
Bro, the apron bumps that literally come like 2 minutes after the fucking match
apron
starts.
bumps are really crazy.
The dragon screw spot on like I saw that Dave. This gives you an idea how great the match is. Dave docked it points for the headbutts because he doesn't like that kind of shit, right? And he gave it 5. That's how good it was. This was. I need to stress. This is must watch. I think you got to see this.
Too.
You don't even need any context because the story is right in front of you with the way Syuri just bullies and really with disdain. It's strange because it really is a very back and forth match, but it doesn't feel
It never
back
feels
and
that
forth.
way.
Right. It doesn't
But in
feel
a
like
good
Natsupoi
way.
has a shot, even though she's in there. And like she has like a late fucking victory roll pin where the people blow because they're like, "Oh my god, she's gonna win!" And man, it's a match that is perfect from an action point of view, but within that still has a ton of story and like a clear dynamic of an underdog fighting from underneath. I can't say enough good things about this. This was exceptional.
I think
amazing
in many ways, like I've watched a lot of the big matches this year. There's still some I'm missing out on. It could be my favorite match of the year. I had such a good time watching it, and like I haven't, like you guys know, I haven't like watched a ton of wrestling outside of the Grin, but like watching this, I really felt like, damn, it really is still important to go out there and explore and go watch Joshi wrestling because you just never know what kind of gems you're gonna find.
We talk about this all the time, especially on this type of show where like, yes, creatively, I think there's a lot to be desired right now, but the talent and the execution and the actual output of matches this year has been unbelievably strong, dude. There are matches that happened this week that like we're not going to get to that were like fucking amazing and like only a handful of people saw it. Like there's so much good shit happening everywhere. It's nuts.
To be clear, like this stuff has I mean, firstly, they're one of the only promotions that's like up in the buildings. So full credit in that regard. And also, Stardom has like noticeably increased motion among like Westernites. Like you can feel it,
dude.
Like, it's a real thing.
Bro, the conversation around the 5-star right now is like everyone's locking in. People are watching it. They're staying up. They're sending each other places to watch it. Like people are making It's fucking nuts, dude.
Yeah. So we should share, like, you know, this isn't like an outlaw thing that we've sort of uncovered here. Like, this is
Stardom's actually good, guys.
So it's a big deal. There's a small promotion in Japan.
Awesome.
It's only women wrestle there.
Dude, I see the crowds on these shows and it's like there's something going on.
And they fucking love it, dude. Like it's not like just like empty calories where it's like big numbers. Like they're actually making noise and they're engaged. It's awesome.
They were really into this.
Yeah.
It feels like a little similar to New Japan. Like New Japan's on the verge of something like that, I think, with their young stars. I think Stardom, their young stars are like they've come along at the perfect time where like wrestling as a whole is kind of like you know.
Saya Kamitani, I think, was a big shift in terms of being a draw.
Insane star.
Yeah.
She ushered it into this era, so she deserves a ton of credit.
Yeah. Fucking Yuvmei gets me every time. So that was opening night of the 5-star. It wasn't a 5-star match, but it was a 5-star match, just not a 5-star tournament match.
No, tournament match.
Oh wow!
Thanks,
Observer commentary. On July 18th in the G1, which let's be honest, we're all friends here. Chicago thing was cool. I'm happy for all you guys that were there, but like the real opening night of the G1 when they went back to Japan and we all returned to normality and had that great experience of waking up to match results and such.
I love my life.
Hirooki Goto. The big man is back. He looked I can't remember who he was. He had a match with someone who's not very good on the opening night. It may have been Sonata.
It was very bad. Very bad.
And he, like, to be honest, Khalid was concerned. I don't know if he's happy with me saying that publicly, but Khalid was concerned because he looked, I think
lethargic.
Whatever it was, he looked really just out of it. And he returned to Japan. He wrestled Yota Tsuji. And he was hilariously good in this match, I thought. I have a lot to say about this one. Donny, I'll go to you first. Goto and Tsuji, did you like this, mate?
Bro, this match was, I think this G1's been fucking awesome. And as somebody told me this was their standout match so far, I wouldn't even have an argument for you. I just think it's Hirooki Goto's most spirited performance since his world title run last year, for me personally. I haven't seen a performance of his this year yet that has matched the spirit, and the energy that he has here. A tremendous Tsuji is so good at just being such a dick. I mean, he's just when he's wearing someone down, when he's being flashy, he's doing all the big moves and all the bombs. There's just such an underlying arrogance with him, right? Where you can clearly see that he has no respect for the guy he's wrestling, and he's like, I'm the fucking champion. Like, I'm just gonna beat, like, I'm that cool, right? And everyone loves me. And Goto is the perfect babyface to play foil to that because he just won't go away. Yes, there's the age at play, right? The guy's been through the ringer over 2 decades, but there's a real earnestness in the fact that for a lot of people, this has been his best run for a lot of people. Maybe not specifically this year, but the last year when he was the world champion. He's on a run right now that parallels so much of what he's done in his career. And I think it was only amplified by the fact that this was up to this point in the tournament. And I thought July 18th was a pretty good night for the tournament overall. I thought it was the most G1 feeling match so far of that week in terms of the atmosphere of the crowd, the way that both guys worked, the way that both guys laid the match out. It felt like a proper main event G1 match and a great drama, great escalation. And I just thought it was just lovely. I was just really happy watching it, man. It was awesome.
Now, I noticed when you were talking, Novi entered a familiar state here, a familiar pose. And this, historically, for those of you that are new to the Grin, this historically is very bad for all of us. This generally means something aggressive's coming. Novi, I sense you disagree with Donald and I.
It's interesting. I'm hearing a lot of talk about how good Hirooki Goto was, and I don't disagree. Hirooki Goto is very good, especially for his age. I mean, the man is in the 40s, late 40s. That's pretty great. I think we gotta draw attention to that motherfucker across the ring from him because Yota Tsuji stinks dog shit right now.
No!
Oh, no!
And here, let me be more specific because that makes me think, oh, I hate the guy. I hate watching his matches. That's not true. I hate watching the first 2 segments of Yota Tsuji matches because that motherfucker cannot pace these things out. He doesn't know how. This match is fully relied on Goto being a baller because Yota Tsuji is not shooting those half courts. He's not shooting those 3 balls. They aren't falling for him.
Oh, shit.
I think Yota Tsuji is a great 4th quarter wrestler, but he can't hang in the first half. He doesn't know, like, he just doesn't know how to get to it, bro. I'm sorry. I don't feel anything. And I'm like, we have Uemura still to talk about on the show. And I've watched a lot of these younger guys because we watched Chicago and just over the time we watched Shota. I just think there's levels to this when I'm talking about these young guys. And they have surpassed him at putting full main event matches together. I still think he's got like a certain flavor to him, but it just seems like he hasn't figured it out. And he's still committed to this like weird ass match that I don't really like looking at all that much until shit gets like really bombfest heavy. I don't know why.
I'm not as strong on it as you. I think there is truth to what you're saying from where I step from my vantage point though, in that like what I thought made the first half of this match work was very reliant on Goto's ability to sell, and sell some more, and to bring the people in. I thought Tsuji... I'm kind of in between you guys. I think there was truth to what Donny said about... I do think he has a good, like, arrogance that kind of... It's better when he's the one who's kind of being the bully rather than being on the sell. Like, I think he does have a natural arrogance, and he did have some great physicality with like some of those big booming chops that he threw, right? Like there was some really good stuff. But I appreciate your aggression, and I think the chat. They
said I'm kind of right, and
yeah, some people did.
I think we're not even saying this. We're not even saying like Yota Tsuji sucks. Like I just think there's a weird.
You did say he stinks.
You did.
He
say
does
he was
stink.
dog shit.
He stinks for the first, second, and third quarter, but like. That doesn't mean he stinks the whole way. You know what I mean?
He's a finisher. He's a big finisher.
He's a big finisher. But when we're talking about these other guys, like there's just a type of match that I enjoy watching more from them. It feels like.
Silence it, I am.
Wait, hey, welcome to the club. But it's just like
welcome to the club.
I think it's hard because he's the champion right now, and I feel like I like watching his matches the least out of any of the young guys. Even I think Shota is kind of better than him right now. Like he's put it together more so.
I don't disagree with that.
I don't know where
that's true.
I don't know where it went wrong for me. I think it was probably just over time it got more and more stale, and I haven't seen like more growth from like this pandemic era main event style match that he's having. It's weird.
This is a really I think it's a nice way of phrasing it, because I think there's truth to this. I think we can all find some common ground on this. JJ said, I like Tsuji, but he's playing the top guy. And I think there is truth to the sense that, you know, look, let's be honest about the situation they're in here. They're trying to build a new crop, basically from scratch, because they didn't have... By the time they were building them, the older guys were either gone or finished, right? Mm-hmm. Like, Naito left, Okada left, Tanahashi, of course, was retiring and was really winding down. As a result of that, they are kind of having to, like, start over. And I do think Tsuji is the first one to be the champ of that crew. Like, he does suffer from that, I think, in fairness. Like, I do wonder if in 2 years we'll be seeing the other guys as world champion and we'll be going, like, oh, now we're not so sure about them, and Tsuji will be benefiting from being underneath. Like, I wonder that a little bit.
It's a tough thing, but I think where I'd counter with that is some of the Andrade matches. Both of them, actually. Yeah, we like those matches. I even like those matches, but I liked them because of the fourth quarter. I didn't like them because they were a complete thing entirely. And even when I did, it's because Andrade's clearly more experienced. We understand this, but I just don't think Yota Tsuji has it like that yet. And that's to your point, Joe. It's his first time. His first one. And
we should stress, we always stress with this program, folks. There are going to be some of you in the chat that have watched less Yota Tsuji than Novi. There are going to be some in the chat that have watched more, right? Everyone's vantage point is different on this. Like, I heard great things about Sonata match, which Donny and I referenced earlier. I didn't see that. I like Tsuji. I think in this, I'm in the middle. I was very high on the match because I thought Goto was outstanding, and I do think it's worth acknowledging. Again, how old is Goto now, boys?
Fucking hell.
47? Maybe?
He is...
Fucking hell,
He's 47, yeah.
I don't say this lightly, because sometimes people say this about old wrestlers, and we're just lying, but, like, he actually is as good as he's ever been. He's actually better than he's ever been this last year or two. Like, because, and here's the thing that's interesting on the Tsuji front, and I actually wrote about this in Monday's Burt Watch, which you can check out Substack. The thing where Tsuji, some of his matches, the start of them can be drier, was a huge thing for Goto in his career. Like, Goto would have main event matches where, as good of a worker as he was mechanically, he could be very dry. Like, he could struggle to get the emotion. Mm-hmm. Now it's like that's his bread and butter now, right? The way he can fucking
his matches are built on that.
He's just got so good at weaponizing his age and his vulnerabilities. He really is outstanding. I think the match is worth watching for Goto, and you also get a chance to decide where you stand on the Tsuji scale here. But
the Tsujis.
I would love. I think we should, after talking Yuya, we should rank all the guys.
Okay, we can do that. I'm not against that.
I just need to list them out because I don't fucking know who they are.
So, do you want to list them as like or just in the ring?
Let's do.
Because I think they're different lists. Yeah,
in the ring. All right.
Because would we agree that in terms of feeling like a star, Tsuji's would be higher than on the other list, right? So we'll talk about that more in a moment. Before we do, we're going to talk about a gentleman who once was a real regular in these G1s and now is a star on the CW. Evil is now, help me, Donny, Naraku. And on July 21st on NXT television, he featured in a main event match with Tony D'Angelo in a street fight. And I'll be honest with you, I saw all of these pieces and I went, I'm going to have to look at that. I'm going to have a look at that because that's strange and feels like something I need to take a glance at. Now, I don't have a ton to say about this, but my big takeaway was this is the first time I've watched an Evil match in NXT. No, that's not true. I've seen many Evil matches in NXT, but I haven't seen this fella wrestle in NXT yet. And I have to say, Donny, I was struck by it. I didn't think it didn't come off as weird as I thought it would. He's more natural in this environment than I expected. Mm-hmm. What do you think?
Specifically Evil, I think it's weird. For some reason, he kind of just fits. It's weird. Like,
well, he's kind of like weird, and he's a good slimy heel too.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know if the NXT people think it's like a weird. I think it's just weird to see him wrestle Tony D'Angelo.
It's definitely fucking weird. It just wasn't as weird as I thought.
Yeah. I am. The chat's mentioning apparently Uncle Alan produced that. So shout out HG.
He did?
That's what he claims. Yeah, he claims that he produced it. He then also claimed, this is a quick say, but it's funny. He claimed that he saw Mike Santana after he confronted Tony D at the end, and he went up to Mike and he goes, "Man, it's nice to see you. Where are we doing this? TNA and NXT?" And Santana goes, "Oh no, I'm here now." And AJ's response is apparently, "Oh, we got you now." Oh yeah,
That must be AJ and Santana talking, like fresh out of TNA. Must be like a guy who's been in jail before meeting someone at the fucking guard door. Right? Like, it has to be. Like, you made it out, huh? I thought this match was pretty good. I don't know if it's Novi, did you catch this by chance? And I said to you like very late notice on this. Did you catch it?
I watched it. Yeah, I watched
It was alright, wasn't it? I didn't have a problem with it. It's fine. What do you think?
I wish it was funnier. Like, I wish there was
Yeah,
something.
it was
a little
just fine,
better.
isn't it?
yeah.
It was just fine. I think maybe the funniest part about it was like Booker T having a lot of fun saying Evil's new name.
Yeah,
Like,
he loves that.
He loves it so much.
He's a fucking
And-
psycho.
Like, as a collective, the whole NXT vibe, the commentary, the way they
Yeah.
talk about these matches
Yeah.
makes me
Bro,
violently
Vic
ill.
Joseph is crazy.
Which
bro.
He talks like a person that's just
He
not
talks like
real.
he talks
You
like
get
a
the
fucking
sense, and-
infomercial.
I gave
Yes.
Donny the recommendation watching the Duke Hudson interviews, but in those he talks about how like their big thing is there has to be something going on all the time, and you get the sense that's
Oh, yeah.
Vic. I
Yes.
don't even want to imagine what's in that poor fucker's
Bro,
ear. Like,
that
Oh,
guy
bro.
legitimately he
Goes
doesn't
to
take
hell.
a pause, bro. It's
no, he has to
unbelievable.
keep going, and like
Yeah.
obviously Booker's always going,
Yeah.
so
Well,
they're
oh,
just
yeah.
racing. Yeah.
Bro, Joseph, he's always doing like those things where it's like, and you low-key have to mention the fact. And it's like addressing shit that happens. Like,
Yeah, it's
and he's
he
like,
has so
and
much
then-
story to cram
and
in.
then-
Yeah.
fuck, what's the guy's name? The other Tony D'Angelo. He recently had a kid. He can't even look at him because his eyes are hurting.
Yeah, and it's like that's
I
a
mean-
big part of the angle, Vic. Like, that's a really
Yeah.
tough thing to have to jam in there. But again, that's his job. I guess it's a difficult job.
I
And
did-
then Booker T responds. He goes, "Oh yeah, man."
I did find it funny that they fought in Gorilla and you just see Shawn Michaels.
Oh god, I'm
That's
really
funny.
sorry, guys. I know it's not good, and I know, I Booker is. It's just funny. I'm sorry. I
He's
can't.
hilarious.
It's just hilarious,
Like
man.
I know the stuff with the women is like an
That's-
eye roll to put it mildly. Like it's a lot. I'm not trying to say it's all good, but like
When he calls the men's matches, it's
Like-
really funny.
it's more feature than flaw for me. If you told me the opposite for you, I get it. Like you've literally just said that exact thing. Like I get it. I think he's fucking hilarious. I gotta be honest.
It's kind of Joe. It's unfortunately loop back around where like he sucks, but like it sucks funny now.
So
it's
funny.
fine.
Yeah, it's like
he
so
doesn't
that-
say anything.
No,
Yeah.
nothing he
He's
says
a-
has any sense. It's just
Not at all.
he makes sound bites. He's just a sound bite
It's
guy.
fucking awesome.
Oh
I'm sorry.
yeah, man, Chucky
Um,
Ducky. It's just like fucking hurts your throat, bro. It's
Well,
fucking terrible.
I do want to quick talk about Tony D'Angelo, who Tony D'Angelo is a gimmick guy who, because he was a gimmick, people never like looked at him as a wrestler because they just looked at him as like the Soprano dude. He's like a sneaky like real athlete. Like if you actually watch the way he moves, like he's a big guy.
Yeah.
But if you notice when people talked about Tony D when he was the mafia guy, like no one ever talked about him that way ever, right? Like he was
Yeah.
just I like him. I don't know if I'm into the way his presentation here was very bland, I thought.
They don't do the fucking. He's supposed to be like Batman and Sting. That's like his gimmick. He
Yeah,
like
I
comes
don't-
for.
He's
He like-
what?
Yeah, like I don't know if I didn't watch the entrances, but when he first came back last year, he had a split diopter shot for his entrance. It was the funniest fucking thing in the world.
Bro.
He legitimately would come out like he was fucking Sting in
Yeah,
'97.
The only NXT entrance I've seen recently is the fucking one where they turn the camera the wrong way for Wendy Chu.
Yeah, that was crazy. I think that might be TNA, I think, which is even funny. I'm much more on
Yeah.
brand.
He's a vigilante, bro. Yeah.
I think Tony is like, to be honest, based on my limited viewing, actually probably is like better than people realize. However, I do feel bad for him in that like I feel like if he was gonna have a main roster run, it was gonna be with the prior gimmick.
He would be a sick tag guy, Loki.
I agree,
He
but,
is
like,
a good tag guy.
do
He
you
is
not
a good tag guy.
think? Chat, tell me what you guys think, because I'm intrigued. Fellas, tell me if I'm off base. I really feel like the fucking silly like mafia thing would have got over on the main roster. I really believe this. I'm bullish on
Yeah,
it. Like,
bro.
It would have, but it feels like it's kind of similar to Chase U, and I just don't think that would have been something they would have booked on the main roster.
like
No,
I mean,
bro.
clearly, yeah, but
No.
Bro,
Oh,
they,
yeah.
they would have saw like someone making AI fucking Sopranos edits on Twitter, and they would have been like, "Oh, let's give him a push. Let's give him
I
a
just
push."
don't like. I was watching him here, and I was like, I like the raw ingredients. He has good fire, and like he's a good athlete, and he has size, and he's fucking serious, and I thought you could tell he really was making a point of like, I'm going to communicate what this match is about, which is that I want revenge, right? Like, you could tell he was really trying to keep urgency, and I appreciate that. I thought he was good in the match, but I was watching him just thinking, like, what is he possibly going to do on the main roster? Like, he's just a guy right now. Like, they're not going to... Like, what would he do on Raw or Smack? You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't...
Go work Miro.
Sure, and I'd watch that, but like...
yeah.
No,
generally speaking,
I don't
the
know what
call-ups,
he would
they
do.
need to have, like, an act or, like, a...
Yeah, he doesn't really have an act. He's just...
No, he's just Tony.
He's just the vigilante, Tony D'Angelo.
Does he still talk with an accent?
No, he's
what I'm saying?
dropped it. He's from
just
Chicago.
Tony. Like,
he's just the
terrible.
guy. He's just Tony from Chicago.
That's terrible, isn't it?
and if the main roster was different, I'd be like, fair enough, but it isn't. Like, they need gimmicks.
Yeah.
If you just had an accent, it'd be enough of a gimmick. It'd be fine.
Yeah. And as Tyler said, his act also doesn't work if he's losing. And to that point, he's not going to get like an Obafemi push.
No, because he's not.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I don't really get it. I don't really understand it. But nonetheless, I liked him in the match. I thought he was good in the match.
Dark, now that's a good idea.
Novi, oh god, Nunzio talking our chat. Don't encourage Donny, please, on this hour.
75th all time.
Donny's put over enough Republicans on this show.
Now listen. Come on.
Yeah, bro.
To
you
get
love
back to the
Santana.
core point, Novi said earlier this match wasn't as fun as he wanted it to be. The reality is, and something that I think people have still struggled to adjust to, is Evil is just too good to have, like, he's going to just be fine because he's just rock solid. And you see him in this environment, you go, he'll be right. And speaking of being all right, Mike Santana debuted after the match.
He did.
And I was very bullish on Mike Santana in WWE because he has size and he can talk. And I don't like this for him at all, personally. Yes, Novi?
That's interesting. You said he had size and he can talk. I always thought when you're a wrestler, you had to be able to do the wrestling too. What happened?
Okay, here's what I'll say genuinely. I didn't like his main event matches much in TNA.
There we go.
I think you can have great matches underneath.
And that's
I
what
really do.
that's what I wanted to focus on because he shouldn't be having.
Some guys are not main
He
event
shouldn't be
wrestlers,
having these
dude.
main event matches, but he could have a fine little.
He can have. I've seen him have really good matches in the mid card. Yeah, and people say that's such a pejorative, but like, you know,
Bro, I think I feel the same way about Brody King. Like people some
guys
are not.
are
What the
better
fuck?
at supporting. Some guys are better at supporting. Right?
You feel the same way about Brody King as Mike Santana? What are we talking about?
He didn't say that. He said in that particular vein.
In that sense, yes.
To be fair, Donny, I'm not gonna lie, Donny. Responding to I put over too many Republicans. I don't like Brody King was crazy. I'm not gonna lie. That was a crazy choice he made, and it is what it is. But
Donnie turned the corner when he put that Ice T-shirt on.
Whoa!
I've seen Santana have a lot of good matches. I don't think he's someone who needs to have 25-minute main event matches. I don't like this move for him because we have now seen a few examples of guys that have a reputation. They get like reset in NXT. And I think there is increasing evidence that it is not a good thing because I look at Blake, I look at Ricky, I look at, it's like those both had they had oomph coming in, and I don't know if Santana's going to leave. I look at Jordan. Holy shit, Jordan Grace. Like,
where is Jordan Grace?
Right, exactly. So I just worry that by the time he comes up, it'll be like, oh yeah, Santana.
If that's even his name.
I also, obviously, we're kidding about young Donnie. He loves Brody
liberal.
King.
He's a liberal.
Very liberal. But I'm interested in that same vein. If Mike Santana can have those like one-off title matches and see what the hell happens. Maybe.
I have truly believed for a while now he will get over well up there, but that he needs to be given a chance. And what I'd say his biggest strength, and this is huge in WWE, it's huge on any television show, but WWE I think it matters a lot, is like he has always carried himself beyond his spot. Like when he was a tag guy in AEW and TNA, he always carried himself like a somebody. Always. That's why people got into. Remember when he did the thing with Moxley where he cut the promo about the eye for an ideal? Like, he is someone, if you let him talk and you let him have even a little bit of creative in terms of like how he presents himself, he will absolutely present himself as a big deal. Yes. The issue is there is not a great deal of signs to be very optimistic that he's going to get those opportunities, but hopefully he does. Yeah. My concern is, though, by the time he gets out of NXT, people will have already moved on to the next guy. And again, Ricky, dude, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean, here's the one thing I will say is like we've seen the New York gimmick work. I mean, Ibu exists, and like if he just wants to do the New York gimmick, I mean,
It'll
we
pop
could see
me.
it happen, man.
I'm from New York. It'll pop me.
If he walked out on SmackDown tonight through the crowd, and he can get a good pop, people online would get so like, oh my god, he didn't get a reaction, dude. That's not the end of the world. I would rather that than him do a year in NXT so the WWE Universe knows who he is. Like, at least he would start fresh. You know what I'm saying? Like,
why do they need to know who he is? Why can't we let them figure that out through the matches?
If you believe in a guy, they're going to get themselves over.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
If you give the
we
guy,
don't have to.
Yeah,
if you give the guy the resources, you can absolutely get somebody over.
And this is a great word from you've made, convincing. He's authentic.
Yeah.
And that means everything in pro wrestling. There is a lot of guys who feel like they're playing a role. Mike Santana has always been believable. And especially with the size he has now, I like him a lot as a talent. It sometimes seems like we don't because I didn't like his main event matches. Dude, it is what it is. I've been at Santana. Novi, you've been doing these shows for a couple of years now. I've always been positive on Mike Santana. I always liked him an awful lot. I was stunned. I couldn't believe, the whole Ortiz, that program was so good and no one really gave it any love because it was hidden.
That program was great on Rampage.
Yeah,
it held that show down for like a month.
And go on, Novi, sorry.
One thing I want to point out too is in chat, don't know about the main roster run because he's LA Knight. LA Knight is over and has had big time matches and has competed for titles. Yeah. If he can do that, that's a
great run. Dude.
That's a great run. He doesn't have to win the belt. I don't even think that's his ceiling. I think his ceiling literally is LA Knight, and that's fine. And
the other thing is you need to buy a ticket to win the fucking lottery, right? Like, you got to get in the game to have a shot. Like, listen, look, we used him earlier as well, so I'm sorry, Damien. Damien, if you're watching, I'm sorry. I watched that fucker as Punishment Martinez, bro. Like, sometimes things fall your way, and next thing you know, you're working SummerSlam major matches and Mania. Like, it can happen.
You're one of the most over guys on the fucking TV.
So I'm rooting for Santana. He's always seemed like good people, so rooting for him. Talented guy. I just hope in 6 months we're not going, what is he doing down there anyway? Is he doing good? Like, I just hope that isn't the case because I think he's ready to contribute. So we'll see what they do with him. But
he wants to, like, mentally too. You could tell. So that's
like you can tell how seriously he takes the fact that he took that chance on himself. And I mean, look, dude, it's landed him this far, so hopefully it just keeps going because that's a hell of a bet to make.
Absolutely is. We're going to return to the G1, folks. Hope you're enjoying this program thus far. We're going to talk about Yuya Uemura and Zack Sabre Jr. from July 19th, following day of the G1. Uemura has become... he was an Ibu favorite, which Ibu got a lot of shit for, and then everyone else has kind of gone fair. And I think people have kind of embraced him. Ibu, that was your one compliment. Please pay me more next time. This match was a complete contrast to what Novi described with Tsuji and that kind of main event New Japan style. This was pretty bold in style, honestly, and in pace. Novi, what did you make of it? Because this isn't... I wouldn't necessarily think that this is your style of wrestling, but this was very well executed. What did you think?
It's interesting because... All right, just to preface, like, we talk about Ibu loving Yuya. I was in on that right alongside of him. I've loved Yuya for a very long time. I saw the vision immediately. And I think this match is maybe the clearest indicator of it. And that's because of Zack Sabre Jr. Zack Sabre Jr. is the perfect guy right now, maybe in any wrestling promotion, to judge other wrestlers off. Because I think Zack is willing to have a lot of different kinds of matches. He's kind of, known for the technical stuff, but he's willing to play ball. And to a level I don't think you see from a lot of other guys in his position. And so you're getting like a great base, like I said, to judge Yuya on. And he built out a match here that works in any spot. It could be undercard, it can be main, it can be super early on. I think this match works in any setting. It's gritty. It feels like the right tone for a match like this where Yuya is working. He's trying to prove himself among Zack. He's, they set this up on commentary where he's looked up to Zack for quite some time as a lot of these young guys. Like, that's a lot of the story. But I think he gets it a little more when he's exchanging strikes or when he's exchanging holds. The third act of this match is like electric with how quick they're moving and how well it seems like they understand one another. I think that's the big distinction is Yuya clearly looked like a guy who studied Zack Sabre Jr., who wanted to beat him. And so to have this kind of match where he does beat him is pretty sick, right? He beats him. I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he does.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, he does.
He beats him, and it's in his match. he starts to dictate the pace. He starts to prove that he is among the very best at, working to his style. I think Yuya it's another one of those things. It's kind of just levels where he gets it across the board, and there's no real flaw, I think, for him in terms of like how high he can take this kind of thing.
He's pretty special, and I do like that you highlighted Zack, because inevitably the focus goes on Uemura, who's still emerging, right, within reason. Zack has been doing this for a very long time. Zack is playing a huge role in bringing these guys up, and it can't be overstated, his value as a selfless kind of gatekeeper, it's immense. Someone in the chat said it. Let me find this, because I thought this was... when I did my writing, when I wrote about this for Burt Watch, which you can see on Substack, I hate using the words retro and old school for wrestling matches, because often to me it's an indication of where we've gone wrong, because often it's like, oh, the guy sold, and it's like, well, they wrestled a bit on the mat, and it's like, but this actually was like this felt like something from yesteryear in a way that I thought was pretty bold. I like the match a lot. It was very good. I actually think they have better matches in them.
Yes.
I like this. I don't want to stress I like it a lot as a match, but I almost like this more as like a statement of Uemura is so different to the young wrestlers around him. Like, it's not even funny. He's so jarring by contrast. And Zack obviously has always been one to play his own music. But I honestly appreciate this most as a statement. It was a terrific match also, I want to be clear. But I think they'll have better matches, and I think they'll do a better job of... Because this is a slow burn, like it's a deliberate pace, but... And they'll do a better job of going through the gears in future matches. But for now, damn good. Very high on this. Donny, what did you think, mate?
Yeah, so we love the list thing here. So I'm just gonna say I think this would make my top 5 or 10 matches of the year. I thought this was absolutely fucking tremendous. And I want to start off what I'm gonna say with, I want to shout out Walker Stewart, who's incredible. We all love Walker. He had a line in one of the opening exchanges that I want to bring up, and it is the fact that ZSJ and Yuya have had one singles match before this. And Walker made the point of something that Yuya said after that match, or before this match, where he said, in the time since I last wrestled Zack, he went on to become the best technical wrestler in the world, and I've amounted to nothing. And I thought that was a perfect way to paint the picture of what this match was, which was Yuya Uemura coming in and understanding that he was never going to out-wrestle Zack Sabre Jr., that he was never going to win a battle of wits or any sort of technical battle, if you will, on the mat. But in a similar vein to the Syuri Natsupoi match, he was just going to keep on trying, because in his heart, he knows that the only way he can advance as a wrestler and in his personal journey is if he can beat Zack Sabre Jr. Because for whatever people can say about Zack, and certainly a lot's been said, he has been presented as the standard of New Japan Pro Wrestling for years and years. The guy that if you're coming up through the dojo, if you're trying to make your way on the mark, he is the guy that you have to go through. And Yuya wrestled that like a man who knew his status as a pillar of this company was going to change if he not only beat Zack Sabre Jr., but did so in the most prestigious tournament in Japanese wrestling history, maybe even wrestling history, if you want to extend it that far. And I thought that that's why this match works so well. They literally do not strike each other, I think, for 10 minutes. There's not a single strike thrown. It is a match that is patient. It is a match that asks you to trust where they're going. It takes its time. And like Novi said, that final act where they're throwing bombs and Yuya is firing up and he's slapping Zack in the chest and he's kicking him in the leg and he's pushing against the ropes, and the atmosphere just gets so electric and palpable. And you can almost feel this shift in, like, everyone is understanding of Yuya's talent. We all know how good he is and how great he's going to continue to get. But it literally in that building felt like perhaps maybe one of, not the first time outright, but another example of the New Japan audience beginning to accept them as like, this is going to be a guy that's going to be a face of this company. Yeah. And it just, not enough can be said about his fire and his spirit. And not enough can be said about the fact that Zack Sabre Jr. is so willing to take these guys with him. Yes, it's his match. And yes, he's going to have his style, and it's either going to be for you and it's not going to be for you. And that's not up for me to tell you how to feel about it. But in the context of the actual wrestling match, it forces everyone he wrestles to wrestle with a certain intensity and a certain focus that isn't present in other matches. And it allows them to explore other dynamics of their character and how they want to approach themselves. And for that reason, I thought the match was absolutely tremendous. I said it when I talked about it. If a match in this tournament surpasses that, I mean, fucking hell, dude. The talent's there, so I'll be happy to eat my words. But this is absolutely outstanding. I love this match.
I think Donnie is being very hyperbolic because that's my boy Donnie. But I think a lot of your grand points, like I think some people would see that as you being hyperbolic and that's it. I think a lot of your broad points about the match are actually really correct.
So
like especially the things where it's like this feels like a statement. This feels like the audience recognizing a guy, happening. That stuff is all true. However you like feel about the level for the match, I think regardless of your personal opinion, that was clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's, I think we all saw the same things in this match. It scratched an itch even more so for Donnie than us. Yeah, it was terrific. I think it's worth a look for. I will say, like, if you're not into the mat work, it is going to be a slow.
It's very
burn.
heavy.
You've got to be patient with it because in the final act, there's more slick back and forth. But like the first 50 minutes, there's none. They actually just grapple and battle and struggle for holds. It was damn good. And the best thing I can say about this match is we talk a lot about like the homogenization and stuff. But, like, you would never see a match that's on US TV.
Hell no.
And that is, for me as a fan, forget the bigger stuff. For me as a fan, that matters because while I'm happy to watch the G1 or the N1 or CMLL or Collision or Raw or whatever, preferably when I go to those things, I get something I can't get elsewhere.
Yeah.
Yes.
You could never do this match on US television.
Yeah.
Hell
That's
no.
cool. That's
great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's honestly like that's what really attracts me to any wrestling now. Is can you stand out? That's like the only thing that attracts me to some of these.
Yeah.
Because like Joe, you've been on this for a while, and I think we've been on a team together on these shows about this. Just like everything feels too similar. So even though we're not crazy about this match, just the feel of it does give you that spirit where you're like, fuck yeah, I like to look at this shit. This is something I enjoy seeking out.
Exactly.
To that point, I think, yes, this is part of a tournament, and it's obviously going to lead to a broader story. But I think there's something to be said for how much it means when a match lives in its own world. Like, this is a match that even though it's part of a broader tournament, it's absolutely in its own, like, it's in its own bubble. It's in its own thing. And we don't get a lot of matches like that just exist to themselves, that have no peer in terms of structure or layout. It's literally a match that we're going to do all our year-end list and all that fun stuff that we do when the year's over. This is a match that when we talk about it, like I mentioned, the word unique is going to come up because it literally will not happen anywhere else.
I tend to agree. Let's go back a week to the Sendai Girl.
Hold on.
Yep, one final note,
Let's rank these motherfuckers.
Oh, my bad. Okay,
because
so I'm gonna
give you.
We're doing in-ring.
I'm gonna give you in-ring list. I'm sending it in the chat. For some reason, it's spaced out. So hang on, let me fix it. Okay. I'm gonna give you the list in the chat.
Okay.
We're gonna rank these 7 guys.
I forgot. My apologies.
They're together now for some reason, but you get the gist. They're all captains.
I think number one. I think we're all gonna go with Uemura.
Correct.
Yeah,
I'll go with Uemura.
I would honestly then go in the order send either Oil or Shota, personally.
Really?
This order that I sent, sneakily, is my order.
So I'm going to go. I think I would have... Hold on. Wait, no, I'm looking, actually.
Because as a singles wrestler, UOS would be... I think UOS would be my... He's great in the team, but Oscar's a big part. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't have him...
I don't like Yuto as much as a singles, to be honest.
Yeah, I'd have him... He would be... My bookends would be Uemura top, and I'd have Yuto bottom, just as a singles, because it is a different thing.
That's fair.
I think Oleg would be my 3, dude. I think Oleg
over
is
Shota. Over Shota.
I think
I'm
Oleg
factoring in too much with the Yuta tag stuff. You can give Yuto down to bottom.
Dude, because what I've seen him as a singles, it's been very dependent on opponent. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so who's your second, Donny?
Oiwe, I think.
Okay, so Uemura, Oiwe, and then you're going.
Oleg, then Shota.
Do you know what? I'm not mad at that.
That's not crazy. It's not ridiculous.
Oleg Bolton, and he's also, we just talked about, he's unique.
Bro, I think
he's unique.
In terms of all the match, because he's had 3 matches so far, I think he's my MVP of the G1. I like all 3 of his matches in this G1 have been fucking sensational, dude.
Then here's the homework for me, because like I think I've watched a lot of his matches, but nothing has felt like I don't
Dude,
feel like he's had a match
Novi,
Yeah.
on the level. of some
watch.
of these other
I
guys.
think all 3 of his matches that he's had so far are worth a look. I think.
Yeah,
I think
go on.
you'd like at least one of them.
Newman's very talented, dude.
I think Newman is like he's gotten real good real fast. Like we were watching the Chicago show, and his match versus like Yuya was like his individual performance as a wrestler was like kind of
They're
crazy.
all good. Like, it's a good list, isn't it? It's a very exciting list.
I think Tsuji would go after Shota for me. Because I think I'd go Yuta and then I'd go Callum, I think. Because I haven't seen enough Callum to be honest, so that's just me.
Have you heard about this Newman thing that Donny did? Have you heard about this Novi?
I haven't.
He just never watched him wrestle because he was from Romford. Never once. He's watched him wrestle once because he was from Romford.
That's actually true.
Interesting gimmick.
Yeah. Makes you think.
And you still pay him?
Okay, I'm gonna go
Very
Yuya,
well.
Uewa. Fuck it, Romford. Newman,
Okay.
Bolton, Shota, Tsuji, Yuta, and I think all of them are good. So
Yeah.
I want to be clear.
I'm gonna reframe my list, then
Yeah.
we'll let Donnie you'll sink it last because this conversation has influenced it. I'm gonna go Yuya, Oiwa, Shota, Callum, Oleg, Tsuji, Yuto.
What I like about Callum most, his work actually can be kind of loose, but I think he actually wrestles with a lot of personality, which I do value. I do value that.
The
And I think
ZSJ match is really good.
as much as I like Oleg Bolton, like it's a lot easier to pop in a 12-minute, like then when you're getting tasked with doing those matches 25-30 at 23 years old, like that's a typical gig.
Yeah.
By the way, Mad Villain's not wrong. In terms of as a pro wrestler mechanically,
Oh,
Fujita may be their fucking
awesome.
one seed.
Yeah,
Like,
he's awesome.
I'd put Fujita right there with Yuya.
Fujita's awesome, yeah.
He should be a generational junior for them. He's that good. So that's a great point. But yeah, great crop they got.
Wait,
there, right?
hold on, Donnie, give your list.
So I'll go Yuya 1, I'll go Oiwe 2, I'll go Oleg 3, Shota, I'll go Tsuji, Yuto, Callum in that order.
Romford thing again.
Propaganda. Yeah. June said he's a finisher. Well, he's called Gene Blaster. Who on the Grin would most suit Gene Blaster as a nickname?
Oh, God, I don't know, bro.
I guess
Maybe
Crosby.
me. Oh shit.
I guess so.
I mean, he's a solid finisher these days. I mean, fuck, 2 of them.
Thank you, Gene. MPJ UK, Sparkles, Silver Star.
Whoa.
I'm even more confused now. I don't even. This isn't even the.
Yeah,
This
I don't
isn't
know
even
what
the thing
that
we saw earlier. Right?
Yeah, I don't know. Here,
I don't know
This is a
what
different
this
thing.
is.
These aren't even the jewels.
try
These
this
are-
on for size.
Yeah, I don't
Hold
know
on.
what this is. Okay.
Oh, now Novi's gonna
What does that do?
750 joules.
They gave me 1,000 for free.
So what does it show on the screen, guys?
It says "Let him cook" on the chat.
And then there's a frying pan in the chat
that's
that's like
aggressive.
sizzling.
Yeah. Okay, so it does show up the same for us as what MPJ UK did. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you, MPJ UK and Noviak. Let them cook. Our dear friend, our beloved John Burr.
Oh yeah.
So chat me up. Does Zack Sabre Jr. having this exact same build as a Mulkey brother endear him to you or cause a Vince McMahon-esque look of contempt? I'll say this, right? When he went and did PWG in the mid-2010s and he did like Evolve and that stuff, him being like a babyface hero in PWG when he first starts doing that stuff and him being like everyone's favorite wrestler was a disgusting time that we should never have tried. He's so much better when his act is like, he's a bit of a prick, isn't he? You know, he's a bit, like, he's so arrogant inherently and he has this, and again, I'm a
He
fan,
just looks
but
like he looks like a dick.
Bro.
with his build and the way, especially then he was skinnier then, like the way he would carry himself and out grapple guys, it was like, why are they cheering this guy?
Yeah.
Get him out of my face, dude.
I'm gonna stay in John Burr's domain. I was watching like the end of this Zack Sabre match with my girlfriend, and we both like, bro, his dick print is crazy. Like on all his matches, like you could just see an outline of his balls whenever he's hitting
Dude,
one of these holes. Like
there's
that's really
no
all
shot.
I get from his build.
There's
dog.
no shot you said staying in John Burr's lane. That dude's
Bro.
got a big dick.
That stay in his lane. Like I feel like John Burr's the type of guy to talk about dick prints. Like
Agreed,
it's the
yeah.
truth, bro. Like you see that man hit a roll and his balls are just out, dog. Like I don't know what you want from me. Like,
I mean, no, you're not wrong.
Staying in the lane of John Burr. Stay hydrated. Some jewels sent our way.
ain't that the truth? Wait, how
Thank
much
you,
is my
John.
750 joules gonna bring us in terms of money?
No idea. No clue.
Does it even give us money?
Please, someone clue us in.
Final couple segments here, folks. We're going to head back a week to Sendai
Hold
Girls
on,
from
there's
July
someone
12th.
else. Hold on, I'm seeing someone else in the chat. They're sending more jewels. you want to go ahead.
Okay. MVP here from Novi.
Wonder who
Very
that guy
much
is
Novi.
talking about.
Yeah, I don't know, but probably me, I guess. So Hashimoto and VENY, Chihiro Hashimoto and VENY from July 12th, Sendai Girls. Donny, this is one of their bigger shows, right? This is a big
Correct.
show.
Yes.
for
Yeah.
Sendai.
It's a massive show. Yeah.
Chihiro Hashimoto has been really, I would say, probably the league leader in terms of match quality. Maybe, I don't want to say for the women. It kind of
Maybe
seems
in
like,
general, yeah.
kinda seems like. I didn't think this was as notable a hit as some of the others. I liked this.
No.
Novi seems unmoved by this one. Novi, tell me about it.
Joe, unmoved is putting it lightly. I like
Wow.
both these wrestlers. This is one of those things where it's so much of the style. It feels aggressive to me. Like,
Really?
I always appreciate like a VENY check-in because I think that she is a fantastic wrestler.
She's
and
awesome. Yeah.
I love getting the look in every stretch of months and be like, yeah, still good, still awesome. And Hashimoto is great too. I just felt like this played too much to the numbers. It just wasn't really that inspiring to me. And it's kind of what I expected when I turned on the Sendai Girls match. And I just wish it maybe had a little bit more fire to it at times.
Really?
Like I wish they maybe kept the pace that they were setting in the beginning, very similar to the Syuri Natsupoi match. Especially because these two are like power move wrestlers. I don't think they really caught that entirely. There's a lot of like limb work that I just didn't really care for that much. It's just kind of dry to me.
Definitely took a while for the people to get with it, like 100%. This is what makes some of these shows interesting. Is like I legitimately recognize everything you said, but I think it was more feature than flaw for me, in that like I found it interesting seeing Hashimoto work underneath. It's definitely a very like simple match, in terms of you mentioned the pace. Like it takes a while to click, I think.
Yeah.
But I do think once it gets there, it's pretty strong. Donny, you were higher on this, fair to say.
Yeah,
right?
I thought this was awesome, and really, I thought mostly, and Hashimoto's awesome, and she's great, and she's one of my favorite wrestlers in the world. I actually thought this was a really inspired VENY performance. I thought she was, to me, the standout of the match, particularly because of her work and control. I thought she was really mean, really snug. She got a chance to really accentuate what Novi was alluding to earlier about how powerful she is, the strength advantage, and
so much personality, dude.
Yeah, dude. She pops off screen, dude. It's an unbelievable thing. It's a thing that honestly, like, I don't want to say is lost because I think there's personalities everywhere, but her specifically, she's one of the most easy to translate personalities in wrestling. Like the way that she works the camera and works the crowd, and the way that it all seamlessly translates into her actual work in the match, I think is an incredible asset that not many people have. But I thought she was just great. She almost was kind of like a bully, which is kind of weird to see Hashimoto get bullied, because usually Hashimoto's the one throwing people around. And that's why I thought particularly the ending stretch really worked when Hashimoto's finally able to lift her up and get those massive suplexes off, which are fucking unbelievable.
There's one late that is
she just spikes her on her head, no regard whatsoever. And I thought that came across well earned because it felt like such a struggle. And weirdly, I get what Novi's saying, and in a lot of ways, I actually don't even disagree, because I do think the work is very formulaic, and that way it's a lot of the same stuff you see. I just think the slight tweak to make it so you have to wait for Hashimoto's bombs as opposed to her coming out like the house on fire, I think is why it works a little more for me, because it's a different way to get there.
Yes.
Rather than just going right into it and just going.
The matching outline is very simple and very familiar. The reason I think we found novelty in it, Donny, is because it was Hashimoto on the cell.
The roles
was
reversed.
different. Yeah, it was different to see her. And I thought she did a really good job of selling.
Yes.
As like, it'd be weird if Hashimoto sold like Ricky Morton, right? It'd be like,
yeah, because that's not how.
She sold like a wounded animal. Like she was kind of guarding her arm,
staggering a bit.
Yeah, it's good. I like the match. I think both parties have had more impressive matches, but I did really like it. I thought it was good.
This is an example of they'll have a better match for sure.
I think to Novi's point, they definitely can have more exciting matches. This was a lot more deliberate in pace, and that mileage may vary. The live crowd, I thought it took them a while to convince them, and then when they got with it, they really did. But I definitely see what Novi's saying. I liked it a lot more than he did, but I get it. I totally understand it. All right. we have a couple more duels to discuss. Nasha, Uncle Blowfish, W, Clutch.
Man,
Wow.
This
Thank
shit
you,
better be
Rollback.
paying us
That's
money. What is this
Zadro.
crap?
Yeah, this is
John
crazy,
and Nasha.
bro.
Apparently, like people, they have them like they're like owed to them or something. I don't know.
Bro,
nice.
I gotta know the money involved because it was just like it's just nonstop with these jewels.
Mhm.
It's so silly.
I keep thinking we're talking
They
about
look
Julia
funny.
Hart.
Apparently, they look funny on the shows though, which is important.
That's true.
Thank you
That's
to all
dying.
of you that sent those jewels.
Yeah.
Yeah, we appreciate it. We appreciate all of our chatters'
You guys are the
tools.
best, bro.
Okay, Donny. Before we
Yeah.
before we go back 10 years, quick hits. Go for it.
Yeah, so very quickly, we talked about Stardom earlier. I'm going to talk about a match from the actual 5-star. Mei Sarah and Rina Yamashita had a fucking awesome 7-minute sprint. Well worth your time. They beat the shit out of each other. They went go. It's a lot of fun. Speaking of sprints, let's go to the arc. Inamura, Fujita, 4 minutes. Fujita literally gets spiked on his head. The
I
guy's
need to
very
see
old.
that.
That
Okay, that
match
sounds awesome.
is fucking awesome. It is 4 minutes. There is a punt kick that legitimately, I think, reverberated through the screen. Fucking awesome. This match isn't like a standout or anything, but if you want to see what we're talking about with Oiwe, go watch him absolutely will the Great Okan to a match that is well above his standards. Darby Allin and Kevin Knight killed each other on Dynamite. It was fucking awesome. If you're into this sort of thing, we watched in the Discord last night. It's unbelievably hilarious. The Righteous Deletion, which is another one of the Hardy cinematic things in which
Oh, was that last night? Yeah.
that was last night. We watched it in the Discord. It was fucking hilarious. There's a dream sequence with Bobby D, who's just dreaming. It is absolutely hilarious.
There's a dream sequence in which he's dreaming. Is excellent.
Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, but whatever. Yeah, I don't know what else
My
you do in the
favorite.
dream sequence, but yeah, it's the funniest thing in the
As
world how they
opposed.
set that up. If you need another hook, he gets beat up by all of Matt Hardy's children. It's very funny. And lastly,
Even the goth baby.
even the goth baby. And on my AEW, they released one of the most fascinating matches on paper of the year for me. Hazuki and Marina Shafir in a backyard featuring John Moxley ad-libs. Yes, they wrestled at Warrior Wrestling Block Party. It's free on my AEW. It's 11 minutes. I believe this is the best Marina Shafir match I've ever seen in my life. I don't really know what that means because I don't really know what else I'd say is up there. But it is 11 minutes of great mat work and Marina and Hazuki kicking and slapping the shit out of each other. It rules. You also hear John Moxley yelling, and I quote, "Get her ass. She doesn't have it in her." It's fucking hilarious. It's a hell of
Wow.
11
I
minutes.
didn't even know this happened. When was this?
Last week on the 19th.
Fuck. There's so much going on. I had no idea this was happening.
Yeah, dude, it's awesome. It's literally for free on my AEW. It's. I saw the graphic and I was like, "What the fuck?" Marina Shafir and Hazuki, like that's just funny. And it was
My
really
God.
good. So hell yeah.
Folks, 10 years ago today, I guess now yesterday, was WWE Battleground. This is not a famed show. This is not WrestleMania 17. But it is an anniversary, an occasion on these shows. Just going to do a brief retro segment because it's a fun thing to look back. The match that we circled, which is the famous match from this show, is Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, which I think is really kind of fascinating in style because it feels like a takeover match from 2 years prior in how much they do in the second half. I actually forgot how crazy they get in the second half of this match with all the falsies and the big moves. Like, they do the apron shit too. They're a reverse of the norm. Normally in WWE in this era, it was you had a great match in NXT and then you had like pretend versions of that on the main roster.
Yes.
This match blows away their NXT matches because they never... Sammy was hurt in the second one in NXT, and the first one is an angle basically where it's like Vader and Sting, where he kills him. Kevin kills him. So this is going to be very freestyle. You guys, I'm sure, are aware of this match. Novi, had you ever seen this before? Because I know 2016, were you in? You wasn't, right? Yeah.
I don't know.
So this brand new watch, what did you think of this, mate?
It's a brand new watch. I mean, it popped me at the end of the day. Like,
Yeah.
I appreciate these kind of matches from these kind of wrestlers where they are just relying on the crowd to get into their shit and playing their music. And at the end of the day, they play good tunes, so people are going to get amped about it. And by the end, they're really excited. Kevin Owens is a very sneaky Novi fave as of late. I've quite enjoyed whenever we've gotten to Kevin Owens matches.
Yeah.
It's not like he's not been a guy I've been like super in love with in the past, but I've recently I've started to appreciate more of the little things he does in his matches, and I think
Well,
this match is a really good example of it.
Him being gone, I think, allows us to do that even more, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I think the game has
Crazy's
missed
been
him a
on
lot.
Yeah.
What I forgot about this match was how much they go full like Steen Generico. The first half of it is a more conventional WWE match, which almost felt like them going like, all right, we've done what you asked. Now can we do the fucking brain busters and fucking head drops and Donny, they go nuts in the second half of this match, right? It's pretty crazy for 2016 WWE.
I hadn't seen this match in like forever. I think it's maybe been like 3 years since last time I watched it, and it still holds up for me. And I definitely think what we just mentioned about Kevin being gone for so long, there's almost like a novelty to it, especially because his last match before he had to go away for the injury was against Sami Zayn. So these matches have a little extra specialness to them. I honestly, Joe, until I rewatched it, and I think you touched on it when you wrote about it, like Kevin's heat is like really slow. Like it's weird. Like it's one of those matches that like is very, especially for those two, very slow. But I mean, dude, when they do the fucking Sammy does one half and half, Kevin gets up immediately, another half and half. Fucking they do the torpedo DDT super kick counter. They do the brain buster on the apron. And I'd honestly forgotten, more so than the fireworks and everything, which are obviously awesome, and the crowd's incredible, and the commentary couldn't shut up about how fucking historic this was. God, they were just yelling at me for fucking.
I got a note on commentary in a minute.
Yeah, but I didn't remember how well the selling was in this match. Like Sammy's obviously his hand and his arm are hurt, and you see that in the punching exchange that they do, where he's like trying to get feeling in his hand after every punch, and Kevin does the frog splash late where he literally can't cover him because he fucking landed on his ribs. And I had forgotten just kind of how earnest the bombs felt. Like there was a sense of struggle and a sense of grit to it that just felt really natural to both guys. And honestly, like these are two guys that for all intents and purposes had no business being on the main roster, and they got to have their match on a WWE pay-per-view. So in itself, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, there's a novelty that's lost because the lines will get blurred, but like, I don't know what would be a good comp for this match at the time, because I want to be clear, I think there's a lot of great wrestling in this era, but it isn't this. The second half of this match is full on like Supercard of Honor shit. Like they just fucking do all
maybe Cena and Edge, but even then, like
Cena
had already been doing
like,
all the people. He did it with Kevin Owens.
Cena does like big kick out matches, but he doesn't do like. There's a level of bombast and like head drops and fucking like shit
that he's
just not the same. Yeah, Cena's stuff is big room in a more theatrical way. This is like, it feels like it could be at fucking Hammerstein the second half. Now again, the first half isn't that way at all, which is very, it creates this idea that you're meshing two things together, which I think they fit better than you'd expect based on the way we're describing it. But yeah, I was struck by, like, I was trying to think what else was like this tonally, like, because Cesaro had incredible match in WWE, but he was more
in line with them.
Yeah, he always felt like someone who could be on their TV because of his look.
Yeah,
you know,
even AJ and Roman, like because of the Roman factor, like those matches feel. And Roman had those matches,
and they have the run-ins and the set pieces. Yeah, it's interesting. I know it stood out to me. It's a great match. It's an interesting thing. Novi, what's your thing on commentary, mate?
Obviously we know Saxon and Cole, they both stink shit. But JBL doesn't really give a fuck about anything happening, which is kind of the best shit ever. Because at one point he goes, "Oh, it's Budokan Hall and Kirk," and like he loves it. And then he does the thing like, and it reminded me like how much they love calling Kevin Owens fat, and they just love talking about his fucking belly. Like JBL goes, "That's a bullfrog splash, a bullfrog." Like because bullfrogs are bigger than regular frogs. Do you understand? Which also, unfortunately is a bar.
Yeah. It is. They also did this thing where they like repeat themselves multiple times because Vince was feeding them lines, like, stopping halfway through.
You can clearly tell that he's feeding them like, you have to put over how fucking great this match is. Like this is a match of the year candidate. This is
like, I'm not exaggerating, guys. Right? Like Cole will start talking, stop, and then say the same thing again.
Correct. Yeah. And he'll scream it even louder the second. Like it's weird.
God, he sucks so.
So honestly, I want to be clear with straight. I know we're talking about other stuff. The match is great, but that was obviously established always. Like. It's worth watching just for sort of a time capsule because it sometimes you look at this stuff and you go, man, it's been 10 years. This actually does feel like a long time ago when I watched it. It feels like a very different thing, to be honest.
We miss.
You get the sense the announcers are trying to like.
They're trying to like.
They're like trying to be. It's like a guy who was a prick to you at school and bullied you, trying to be your buddy when he sees you out as an adult. You know, it's like I don't trust Michael Cole telling me about Kevin Steen and El Generico. Why is he talking to me like this?
No.
You know?
It's always funny. Like,
tell me about NXT, little man.
Yeah, it was
when
strange.
JBL would do the thing with Brock, where he's like, a former IWGP champion, same as Brock when he said that for about AJ, and I'm like, you never see AJ stuff.
It's a strange beast, but a couple of things on this show because I stuck around. So the Cena 6-man,
Yes, let's go.
with our beloved Good Brothers and Uncle Alan is a hoot.
Yes, let's fucking go.
I also discovered a hidden gem, which I am now recommending to the masses. It's on YouTube. It has like a 4-on cage match, which I will be changing. The pre-show match on this show is the Usos and Breezango. And this is the height of, like, the Usos are fucked. Like, getting booed as baby faces doing the face paint shit, like, just dead in the water. They have 5 minutes and, like, inexplicably do false finishes and stuff. Because I guess this... For anyone who doesn't know what this show was, this was the show before the brand split kicked in.
Correct, yes.
And so, like, the talent is legitimately motivated because they feel like, surely, like, we can get... And it proved to be accurate for both acts, actually, right? They both got more as a result. Especially the Usos, transformative run for them. But it's, like, worth watching just for, man, the Usos 10 years ago, and they do false finishes on a pre-show. They have 5 minutes, do everything they can do. So, this is not the Grandma Breeze match. Now, this is
that's
like
Backlash.
This is like an all-action cold match, just because, yeah.
Joe, I'm actually curious. So you say you stuck around. Did you watch the main event, the Shield?
I did not. No,
Okay, because I was gonna say I was curious what you thought of that match.
I've only seen that match once. I don't remember. I don't remember about it.
I don't remember. That's what I was saying because obviously being that big of a deal, it was very ho-ha.
I remember the original AJ and Good Brothers stuff for the club. I remember being like really hot, and I wanted to rewatch that. I mean, he's talked about it publicly a lot. Like Machine Gun Carl Anderson, like he's not. You know, he loves pro wrestling, but he doesn't have a lot of, like, mark-out moments because when he got to WWE, he was already 35. Like, he'd been around, you know? But the Cena entrance is something, like, he said publicly, like, that was a crazy experience.
The Battleground
like,
one specifically?
No, just, like, when you do angles with Cena and, like, house shows, wherever, and, like, the first time he experienced being in the ring for Cena's entrance, it did blow his mind. Because it's just sound, isn't it? Like, boos, cheers.
Yeah, dude. You don't hear the trumpets, bro. It's just fucking people.
Yeah, he was. So I wanted to watch that back. And they had a good match, too. I like that match.
Yeah, it's fun.
Enzo and Cass was so over. Holy shit.
Man, I really hope it works out.
We're running it back, bro. Don't worry.
It feels like they're bringing him in as
going to be Cass, yeah, which is interesting.
Oh shit!
I don't know.
I like the approach they're taking to that too. By the way, the idea that he's like confronting his struggles.
So do I. He's awesome. If he gets a push, I think it'd be great. Final thing. If you haven't liked the stream, please do. We got some sujos there. We're going to do a very brief segment about the invite. We're not going to do any spoilers. Don't worry. We should actually avoid.
I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna do it.
We should avoid even like hinting at stuff because I think part of the fun is watching it unfold.
Yeah,
especially if you go to an Impact Theater.
My favorite film, new film I've seen in some time. I saw it on Friday morning at the cinema and bullied my mum into going and was back at the cinema 4 days later, I believe, or 5 days later. That's how much I wanted to go. I think it's fucking hilarious. Yeah. Like, to the point where if you go to the movies with me to see this film, you're going to be embarrassed by how much I laugh at it because I will laugh loudly and I got like Seth Rogen, who isn't even someone I traditionally find that, like I like Seth Rogen, but I don't find him hilarious. Every fucking line in this joint, he's like,
he's
like,
incredible.
You forget he can act sometimes,
bro. He's so good. Like his face, some of the points in this film, which we won't get into, it's one of the more heavy parts.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he's emoting. It's great, but I think it's hysterical. It's also very powerful, and it packs a punch. Novi and I have both had the experience of laughing a lot and crying a little too. Novi, this is a beauty. It's a beauty. People got to see it.
Beautiful. Olivia Wilde comes back with a performance as a director that feels very classic in all the blocking being fucking incredible. Every shot is worth paying attention to. The dialogue, opening credits, the dialogue is really snappy. Like you just can't take a break from it for even a second. All 4 performances are fantastic. It's really difficult to get me to cry at the movies, and the ending of this movie had me bawling in the theater. It's really, really something to seek out. It is I've given like 2 new films 5 in the last 2 years, and this is one of them. So
it's very easy to make me cry in the cinema, and it did make me cry. So Donny, you were high on this too, right? No, we all 5s on this.
Yeah, it's a 5 star.
Oh,
I think this is the best movie of the year. Like, and I think this come through this movie of the year. I have to shout out Edward Norton. That motherfucker was unbelievably funny in this movie and had no right to be considering who his character. Dude, everything about this movie. I got to see it in a packed theater. Literally, like, I think there was maybe one empty row in my theater. It was fucking awesome. The laughs were constant. I was bawling at the end. I literally felt a pit in my stomach as we reached the end of the movie. It was one of those things that, like, I left the theater and I immediately texted friends of mine, like, you guys have to see this movie before it goes out of theaters. You have to.
It's a
like,
great cinema experience.
Yes.
Definitely, yeah.
Like, I don't play great at home, obviously, if you watch it with your family, but like there's just a magic to this that's specific.
Was she full
to the
for
theater.
that though, right? Didn't live in a world like Five, yeah.
Very much so. Tyler, the blonde is the director, Olivia Wilde.
Yes.
She stars and
bleach
directs.
blonde though, so is he mean Penelope?
I don't think. Maybe. Yeah, I guess she's more brunette.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But dude,
Penelope Cruz is great too.
It is.
Oh, she's unbelievable. Yeah.
She's fucking hilarious. Olivia Wilde has been great on this press tour because her big thing has been that the system is pushing that young people don't want to go to theaters. That is bullshit. We just want things that are worth us paying the money to go. And this is worth it. If you're gonna, dude, I'm telling you, I can't imagine people not liking this movie, even in some way. You might not be as high on it as the three of us, but you are gonna get enjoyment out of how funny this movie is. It's fucking
if you don't
awesome.
like it, don't blame us. It's not our fault.
Nope.
We were asked to talk about it. This wasn't a plug. It can be if they want to reach out. We can sponsor. We can do a sponsorship deal.
No problem.
Could you fucking imagine our intro just becomes a trailer for the invite, and then we just start the show like just
Bro.
move on?
There's one thing they do in the trailer of this movie that I think we could actually do that'd be so funny.
So it's fucking awesome. Thank you to the grinners that asked about that. We had a couple of different chats about that, so I wanted to circle back. This has been a great time. We hope you've enjoyed the show. We hope you've enjoyed the reason between us as friends. This was called Redemption Ready. Is because, yes, AEW Redemption, but in my mind, the flagship, we're redeeming the flagship as of late. We're making the flagship that exact thing again. It's the thing where we talk about a range of topics. And what I'm enjoying about it is we're going to talk about the hot topics, the big headlines, but I also think that we can, for some of you guys, there's matches we talk about that you haven't seen. For some of you guys, there are matches that you have seen, you haven't had a lot of conversation about. And hopefully, in this WWE radio world, we can actually strike a middle ground of talking about those topics, because I think they are interesting. But also going, hey, let's talk about this Sendai Girls match, talk about whatever. And I want to stress again, we didn't talk about a lot of niche stuff tonight. But sometimes we will. I'm sure there'll be some shit we cover that people are going, what the fuck are they talking about this for? That's the fun of this, right? As we keep it rolling. So, hell of a time. I'm going to do some plugs. Next week, we are not doing this. We're back to the week after, but next week we're doing squad selection because it's been a year. We need to reassess. Last year, for those of you who never seen squad selection, it was an episode of the flagship where I named a role and we picked it. It was like top babyface, top heel, top tag team, and we picked our acts. I think some of them aged very poorly, but it should be stressed that a very handsome British man fought for Andrade to be his working babyface, and people dunked on him, and I mean, he was fucking right. I mean, that much is clear. But nonetheless, enough about my life. Squad selection next week. Sunday, we're doing Redemption. If you're a Colliders tier member, I have you guys covered. There will not be a Collision Grin along because everyone got scared of Collision, myself included. Very, very scared. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
All I had on Collision was Caden saying, I'll definitely be there. And then I saw multiple graphics that made me go, oh my God, this is scary. However, we have you covered. I'm going to work on a Colliders... what do I call it? Colliders
Court.
And I'm actually gonna try and do it Grinner Circle style, where there's gonna be a crew. I think is what we're going to try and put together. So stay tuned for that. Oracle informed me today that there is that he will be there for SummerSlam. Oracle
so
of
we're
Wrestling
doing
will be back.
SummerSlam?
He'll be back. Well, I was thinking you and I can do it, but I was thinking that I want to see what Oracle's gonna do. He's gonna do it, so we'll watch.
All right, cool.
We'll watch the SummerSlams with Oracle. That's the main things. Oh, and Grin Grappler Barry Windham has been delayed because people have stuff going on in real life. Nothing bad, just scheduling that. So it'll be a little bit later and it'll be into August. Donny, do you have any plugs?
Yeah, Sunday, I'm double booked, folks. At 1 p.m. Eastern, Power Play returns. We are watching one of the most famous stretches of Ric Flair's career in the sense that he had, I believe it was, I lost to give me the exact number, but I think it's somewhere in the range of like 10 matches that all got like a 4 and above in like multiple different countries within a 2-week span. That is at 1 p.m. Eastern. And then I will be on Redemption. First time I've ever been on AEW pay-per-view Grin along. I'm very excited. Donny's Domain returns to Thursdays next week. I couldn't do this because I was working. I'll obviously be there for SummerSlam. Me and Khalid are going to do a G1 recap when the tournament ends. We're just going to talk about the tournament. It's the first time I've locked in on the G1 in its entirety in many years. Of course, they rewarded my loyalty with Jake Lee matches. Egg on my face. Fuck me. And at some point at the end of, well, maybe not that. At some point at the end of the month, Lord Oracle and I are getting this series off the ground. We have the format. We have everything we want to do. The end of August, so we have more free time. We are going to give some love to the Seashore Warriors of yesteryear.
Oh my God. Let's go. All right. Novi, you have a movie channel, mate. Tell the people about it.
Look, folks, it's great that Donny Joe Munch shows here, but the authoritarian leader of the Grin has finally let me be back on the flagship. It's been years. So you'll see me around. I'm on Redemption because of fucking course I am. That's my party at the end of the day. And someone's got to hold it down while Joe steps away. But if you want more Novi, you gotta go to this link I'm mopping in the chat, which Big Fat Orange Cat already came through with. Big shout out. youtube.com/@itsnoviak. I cover movies. I talk all kinds of movies. My most recent video is on The Odyssey. Me and my wonderful girlfriend Julianne talked about that movie for over 30 minutes. So there's a lot to see there. Uploads coming soon. Gleaners Film Club. We're doing Greek literature, Greek tragedy, Greek adaptation month. So that's going to be coming very soon. We have a selection of movies. I think we have like 6 movies because we have 2 bonuses because we just really into it lately. And then aside from that, the big news. My next video is going to be Christopher Nolan's filmography ranked. I'm watching all of his movies. I am working my way through, not too far from the end here. That'll be out relatively soon. Please be on the lookout. I have things.
That's going to make me.
Is this not the big news that you wore sleeves?
Look, man, I can't do it every time, bro. The gun show is just reserved for the big occasion, like Redemption. You'll fucking see the shoulders, but just like give us some time.
I'm a big fan of part of your promotional for Redemption being when Joe steps away. Like these pockets of time where I just step off. You know, I'm a big fan of that. I like it.
Hey, couple times we're going along. You'll see me. I'll lead the show. No problem.
I like that. Last couple of things, folks. We have some more jewels from our friend Hudson. It says thumbs up indeed. Please do like the stream already. Thank you, Hudson. Criterion dropped Thursday. New Japan Wrestle Kingdom, check that out. Alex and I had a hell of a time. And I also want to quickly note, the MJF video hit 20K at some point. I don't know when it happened.
Whoa!
Oh, shit.
However, that is the most viewed thing I've been a part of, I think. Now, obviously, we know why it did well. We don't have to say that because he's probably listening. But he's already forced me to change my header. I don't need more of that. But it is pretty cool. And it is sometimes when you're in the midst of this and you're like trying the guys work with me, so they know this is true. Every waking hour, I'm trying to figure out how to make the schedule good for you guys and try and give you guys, especially our members, try and give you guys bang for your buck. Like I spend an unholy amount of time on it. But the issue with that is sometimes you don't have a chance to be like, man, we've had a lot of cool stuff this year. So I say all this and I get introspective to say, next month, the Late Night Grin turns 5. And you best believe, end of August, night before I go off to Wembley, I believe, in fact, we're going to be celebrating that next month because we're now coming up on a month away from our 5th birthday. There have been so many ups and downs, but I think so far 2026 has been our biggest year yet. And with what we're doing on Fridays, I think the flagship is redeeming itself too to go back to the title. So, it's just all comes back.
Wow!
Holy shit, bro!
What a
this fucking guy! Please write movies, please.
And
that great moment!
Oh my god!
We've had a great night. We hope you have too. Have a good weekend. We'll see you for Redemption. Collide a tear. I got you. I'm working on something. Keep grinning. All hell. Enjoy this outro. Goodbye.